But I'm not going to follow its route. I'm going to freak it out when I told it no tolls, and then I take a toll road.
You like doing that to things, don't you?
Yeah.
Especially when they can't talk back.
Well, they could say rerouting.
Or
Already. That was fast. Rerouting.
Or they can say, I am disappointed with
It
your
takes 6
faith
hours.
in the force.
Right?
6 hours to get to Joplin?
No, 6 hours, 58 minutes to get to St. Louis.
Via Joplin. What? We're going to go home through 35? That we're going to start going that way.
Okay. It's like 6 hours going through Kansas City.
Oh, the St. Louis goes. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm confused.
6 hours.
It's an hour longer.
7 hours if you go 70, 35,
Right.
70 to St. Louis from Wichita.
It's an hour less.
Depends who's driving.
Oh, yeah, give or take a few minutes.
I don't have a comeback authority. Thought I could, but I don't. So, I can't believe you don't love me.
World is harsh.
No, you know, a son who loved his parents should have bought them the tickets that really gave you a good tour.
The $200 tickets. Yeah. $900 for the three of us. Yeah. I don't know about that one. Or $600 for the three of us. That's a little out of my price range.
I just wanted to kind of stab you there for a little bit. I don't blame you. I wouldn't have bought them either. Dad said he thought maybe that reason was we actually could make our own bats.
Yeah, for that kind of price, they better.
Yeah.
Well, they do have a vault where they store a lot of game-used bats from different players. Like, old ones like Babe Ruth and those guys.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that tour doesn't allow you to get into that vault and actually touch the bats.
Probably does.
Yeah.
Maybe yours is worth the $300.
Sorry. Well, I mean, if I had the money, but I don't.
No.
I
Well,
mean, that's not the kind of money I want to blow on vacation.
I'd rather spend on other things.
Yeah. Something I can take home with me.
What? You're not taking home a memory when you do that?
No. I tend to purge those as soon as I get home. Right lane closed ahead. North. Northeast. We're getting on Kellogg. Are you going across on Kellogg? Yeah, we've got to get on 400 to head that way.
Is that 400?
Yeah. It's Kellogg.
Didn't know that. Okay.
But I didn't want to take 135 out.
I'll give you a warning.
I cut across on it.
When you leave town, it stays 4 lane for the 2 or 3 miles.
Yeah.
Speed limit don't pick up until that's heavy. Because you see that, well, speed limit must have picked up. It's their form of a speed trap.
Yeah.
But then a cop was decent enough to say, now watch the next town, because they do the same thing. Okay.
Seek help right away. You have any signs of injury. Do not have sex or any sexual activity during and for at least 4 weeks after each treatment cycle, which includes 2 injections, 1 to 3 days.
And now you guys are okay with me wanting to come home, be home by Friday, right?
If you have a bleeding condition or take factors as risk of bleeding or bruising on the treatment site.
Honest, your schedule.
Yep. Well, it's a big one in Wichita, and it's like perfect timing. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll catch you on a car show or not. What time are you going to the show?
Probably like 9-ish in the morning, as soon as they open.
Okay. Because we we only, like I said, we only have been on the road for 3 or 4 hours to make a big dent. Even if we just pull over somewhere.
Yeah.
We're in Mississippi. We'll be there on Monday.
This is something special in Mississippi. Oh.
I went to the boss's house and she said, "What's the boss's house?" The boss says that she's got room. I
Okay.
can drive or something, but we can hook up in an hour and one.
That's
That's sleep in the RV. She can go inside. Might have some good information exchange. I've been there for
Yeah.
and then we'll do some touring Saturday, Sunday between the 2 weeks. I may even get to Old Jim Morrison's ranch. May even get to go to the Elvis Presley birthplace.
Right. You know, there's a place in Oklahoma that I've been meaning to go to for years. It's another one of those I'll get to eventually, and I've never done it. It's a museum just south of the Kansas border. It's the Mickey Mantle Museum.
Really?
So it's the town he was born in.
There's no reason not to catch that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's in northern Oklahoma somewhere. Just over the border.
I had no idea.
Yeah. There's also Walter Johnson's grave in Kansas somewhere.
oh, that sounds exciting. When we do that, let's just go to Eisenhower.
Well, I mean, you're talking about great Americans. I think Walter Johnson ranks higher than Eisenhower.
What was I thinking?
One of the greatest pitchers in baseball history.
Embarrassing. I didn't even know his baseball. Still.
Oh, the Rock House burned down. That's sad.
Drug house?
The Rock House.
Oh, there's a drug house.
Used to be like hard rock live shows.
That's no question. Make much difference.
The place was extremely dirty. Kind of what you'd expect from a place that did hard rock live shows.
Bless you.
Oh.
Excuse me not to go to clinics.
Sorry, I don't have any.
That's okay. The next question.
Yeah. It rerouted us the Kansas City route as soon as I got on the turnpike.
Little as it, no, we're not that easy.
Yeah, it'll figure it out. It'll catch up.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, I'm on 400 until like, what was it, Parsons or something? That'd be a while.
You're 400?
Then I'll have plenty of time to figure it out.
El Dorado's where you get on. Well, actually, Augusta's where you get on 400.
Well, you know, technically right up here in about 2 miles is where I get on 400.
Why is it that you always go over, get ice on one side, then get the tea? You're just being funny.
No, because they don't have cubed ice over by the G. They only have crushed. I always get you cubed. If you
Yeah, I
decide,
like the cube better, but
yeah,
I was there, so I know.
yeah. It surprised me, right? So.
trash can?
What? Oh, trash can. Yeah, bigger.
Tried switching bags. This back really sucks.
Careful, I think you got a tomato in there.
Yeah. Called a rotten tomato, too.
Well, if you leave it in there, it will be.
I don't want to rot my other stuff.
I don't think they should. I don't know what I know that the rotation wise may be a little bit hampered because we've got Carrasco and slow on Walker's going to be delayed but I don't know. Are you concerned at all with anything right now with that? I would agree with you on that. I like the team a lot. I think it's probably the best. I'm a big fan of I like the way they draft. I didn't know how much power he could have.
That's not extremely confusing.
I know people got down on him because he was down to that. I think he struggled a little bit with kind of off the field, right? Definitely had some issues.
strange, actually. Why would you be following Dallas?
Dallas wedding.
Oh, not Dallas the person.
Rodney could talk about it.
They are incredibly stopped.
Computer backup.
Yep.
One place of trouble, I carry one. I say, not ready to quit carrying these two things. Double masks.
Yeah. Well, they finally took all the signs down at work. Or at least somebody took them down and security never put them back up.
Well, I think this is all about Andrew Volpe, right? I think Volpe is going to be their next shortstop, and kind of play a placeholder until and whatever that is. And I think that's the plan. And they want to put big money on Correa or Story and have that stand in the way of Anthony Volpe and even Peraza for that matter, which is their future up the middle. So I think what they wanted to do is, all right, let's stopgap this thing, and Donaldson for 2 years and play for one, and hopefully Volpe for the next year. I love Josh Donaldson. He's 35 years old, injury prone. If he's healthy, it's a really good build. If he's able to play 140, 150 games, he'll end up being a really, really good dude.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big question. I think they're making a big bet on that, and we're going to wait and see on it. I think that's the big question mark is can he stay healthy? Right? That's been issues from the last couple of years, but there's no doubt he's going to line up. And that's one of those things we call we're going to have to wait and see. Might be on that appreciated 266, 266, 96.
Did you clean your glasses this morning?
No. Do you need?
I had a cleanser there. I was going to cleanse their glasses. But this twist little thing.
There's another one.
Oh, you got another one?
Yeah, I got and one more after that. And then we're in trouble. We'll be out at that point. Yeah, I laid that one in center console. But I slid off. I got another cleaner if you need. Do a different one.
Glasses are so dirty. It's not clean.
So you want to get them halfway and then give you another cleaner. Does that make a difference? Got my bag switched.
So is it more comfortable back there on this trip?
No, I'm not squished between two people.
Oh, do I need to scoot forward a little bit? Went forward enough for you?
But I'm still squished because I put so much stuff back here. Some of it needs to go back in.
Do I need to slide forward any?
I can hear you.
Do I need to slide forward any?
That would be nice, but I can do all right with this. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
How's that?
Well, that's fine. If you're like comfortable, if you need a little bit more space, you can.
gonna take the back just a hair bit. Well, they're better than they were, so that'll be fine.
I mean, they're better than what they were.
Good enough.
I almost think we need to do another cleaner.
Okay.
Here you go.
I got one more. Want me to get them again?
So I'm gonna put it on the back of the chair. Trash. Hey,
Well,
who did that to the car? When did that happen?
pays for horses.
That old dirty bird.
Yeah, stupid birds. Although I took it to the car wash last weekend, and for once, the birds didn't shit on it for a couple of days after I washed it. And then it snowed quite heavily.
That's about the size of our look. I was gonna go wash it. Today's Sunday, Saturday. He was gonna go wash it on Thursday, and I said, "Why? It's gonna rain."
Yeah, it did a little bit more than rain.
Oh, I did get my tea. Awesome.
alldavids.com/careers. Join the series and then also on concert.
Derek, we have evenings, peanut evenings back here. Should you decide you want some of those. Same thing with, I also have Reese's peanut butter cups
Yeah,
and Hershey's bars, but both of those require unwrapping. It's easier to eat M&M's.
yeah, that's why I didn't grab my Reese's cups I got at the house. Because they're not exactly convenient highway foods. Snacks or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, most religion signs are pretty weird.
Party shooting in Dallas, that's what the deal was.
Like, party shooting? Like, hey, let's have a party and go shoot some guns.
Evidently that's what they did. 10 were injured.
That's why you don't mix alcohol and guns. Well, they really snuck that 50 in out there on you.
Well, I suspect it was one individual wanting to hit people. If it was having a party and they accidentally shot 10 people, somebody needs to talk to them and say, okay, guys, we shoot one person, we need to lay the gun down. Somebody else shoots somebody. We really need to lay down. By the time you get the 10th person, say, come on, what's going on?
Right?
We got 10 accidental shootings.
Hey, it's Walmart.
I got an email.
Stuff. We do Walmart?
Yep, good.
Yeah.
That Walmart sucks.
area is going to be
Yeah.
right.
This Walmart sucks.
Yeah.
And Drew Waters would be
For the reason that I would go to Walmart for.
AAA, who also be a place in
Too close to Wichita.
Too close to Wichita.
It does appear that the ones that are further out have
There is a
more
Walmart.
options.
There's a Walmart planted on South Manhattan. Because it's way out there.
I don't know. Does it make you, when you look at what they have done, just over the last couple, right? They add Olsen, they add Rosado, they add Jan.
But you got an email?
Yes. Pat and I was, Dad and I were talking about that yesterday. The concealed carry law in Texas. They haven't passed that yet. They just sent me a bit. I haven't researched it yet, but they sent me an email saying, please sign a petition to get it to pass the.
You like
Let me tell you what it was called.
Constitutional carry?
Yes, constitutional carry.
Okay.
So Texas hasn't passed it yet, but they're trying.
Yeah,
I'm sure they will.
let's go through because they have the
And I think there should be constitutional carry.
When I saw them sign it,
What gets me is people and businesses, children exposed to carry. Yeah, it's legal.
Is it now?
Businesses and people choke on the idea of open carry. Well, that's legal. For you to have a gun to your hip, when you go into a business, or you go out in town, go downtown, that's legal. There's nothing illegal about exposed carry.
Yeah. Well, depends on what state you're in.
That's true.
Yeah, there's a couple states like Illinois do not have a gun.
New York, they
New York's one of them.
even if you're a legal gun owner in another state.
I was at Quick Trip once and it shocked me. The guy with a police officer had a gun holstered to his back.
Yeah.
I talked to him and said, I assure you I won't mess with you. He smiled.
I mean, there was a guy, I think he was going to a gun show or something, and he had to go through New York,
Yeah.
and he got arrested for having guns. And I said, really?
I've heard a lot of stories like that.
And I'm sitting here going, really? You know, if you're going to a gun show and you're flying, you have to take your guns. I mean, I guess it was some kind of competition thing. It was just kind of funny. I was like,
You heard of people moving?
guns aren't good unless you have bullets, and he didn't have bullets on him, so.
You've heard stories of people moving and having guns in their vehicle because they were moving. And like getting pulled over in Illinois and the cops searching them and finding them and them getting arrested.
That surprised me, Illinois. So they're almost like New York is
I
being.
understand, I guess.
What's that?
Look at that little baby cow.
Yeah, that's a deer stand.
This is guys wonder if it's a deer stand or
Well, hunting, whatever you're gonna hunt out of it.
being that high on it, maybe it's just somebody wants to have fun and look around.
No,
They're pretty on it.
they're hunting. Almost guarantee it.
I guess that's true. If it's for deer, they can shoot fire.
Message.
Somebody's out in front of the
Kachana
garage.
decided to come visit again. And there's no truck, so he's lost. He's just kind of roaming around in the driveway. He's so used to the truck being sitting
Without
there.
truck there, he doesn't know which way the street is.
That's right, he doesn't know. He's just wandering around because he doesn't know where he's at.
More things gonna starve to death.
What?
I'm not sure what troop it is. Because there's nothing out here.
Oh, the cat. You said the cat was walking
Oh
around.
yeah, but 3 o'clock this morning,
Oh.
there's no cat.
Nah, it's a phantom. Glitch in the Matrix.
Usually the neighbors set it off sometimes when they get in the driveway.
Yeah.
But 3 a.m. they're not active, so I don't know what's it about. capture it the first time around.
Well, I'm sure captured it the first time I looked at it.
Yeah, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
There's a high wind warning in Kansas City today.
Day to be in Joplin.
El Dorado. Well, that's if I take the other route. That's ultimate route option.
Gotcha.
That takes me back up to 35. Yeah. The car's been behind us since Wichita.
You stopped there once.
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming to get her cab.
I remember stopping there. I still remember.
Yeah, he's getting big too.
Yeah, he told me he's getting big next month.
Yeah, I was playing phone tag with his contact, and
Why was you playing phone contact?
because it's Travis's girlfriend that's getting it for him.
Travis's friends getting it?
Travis's girlfriend.
Girlfriend's getting it?
Yeah. So she texted me, tell Sean this, and okay. Finally, I was just like, here's his number.
I wish she'd give me a pig.
Okay.
I need a pig and a cow right now.
And a freezer.
Well, you can have the cow that's in my freezer. It's
I'll probably take some of that too, but I mean,
technically your cow anyways.
no, it's our cow. What's ours is yours. Freezer's got more space in it, so.
Lots of freezers in Kansas City are packed.
Yeah.
There's a basement freezer if I take the ice out. Free up a certain ice space, but not a whole big one.
Hey, it's Blue Stem High School.
That's how rumble strips should be made. That's how rumble strips should be made.
Yeah. Subtle.
They don't have to shake you. Get your attention.
why she knows somebody that's.
Shopping for new car insurance can feel impossible. No easy solutions, just headaches. But Experian just cracked the code on shopping for car insurance. Experian compares your current policy and quotes for comparable insurance from over 40 top insurers, all in just a few minutes. No filling out the same information over and over. On average, save $961 per year when switching your car insurance from Experian. And it's free. Check out Experian.com/car. See website for more information.
I figured it was construction.
What, the ones back there? To let you know that speed limit was slowing down to 50 miles an hour.
I figured.
That was my guess.
I figured they had construction at one time, and that's where they actually took the normal strip off, but it wasn't quite smooth. That's what I figured. That could have been the speed.
Yeah. Well, it did slow down through there through 50.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because there's nothing there. Whatever.
So they changed the guy's class. Since he never wanted to work to cover. They changed his week or something. I was curious how they dealt with it. Boss ain't going to come in and cover.
No, well, the guy with Jerry, he's coming in those days. He didn't just ask me, he asked both of us. And I just said it was asking me, like, I was making it more dramatic.
Well,
Yeah, he asked both of us. And I told Jerry, I'm not cutting my vacation short. Technically, that's past vacation, but the weekends attached to your vacation are considered your vacation.
that's because it's sort of.
But then I'll probably be working the week after that, so. Oh well. I guess that's money. Burn while I still got a job.
Still thinking you may have get laid off?
Well, with fuel prices the way they're at, guess what runs on fuel?
Definitely trying to shut down the country. Hey, Tim Pool, what's his chicken channel?
Chicken City?
Chicken City. I could not remember who left me. I wanted to go out and check it out, and I couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah, I've never watched it, so.
I haven't either, but I thought I'd go out there. He said he got some new cameras out there, so I thought I'd go out and look.
I know the last couple of days without that Ian guy were pretty nice.
He kind of, he's different.
He derails the conversation too often.
Yeah. They say he's sick, but I don't know.
Well, he
They
came
took
back.
down his sign.
He came back on Friday.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't watch him Fridays. I was on the road. Chicken City.
thinking you're talking about, if he's the one I think you're talking about, I really shake my head sometimes with some of his arguments.
The long-haired guy.
With glasses, long hair,
Yeah.
got a beard.
One particular one struck me was they were discussing about declaring war. And he was, only Congress can do that. Only Congress. Well, there's a lot of variations to a meaning.
Right.
Yes, the nation's declared war if we launch missiles against somebody. Nope. He was off the wall with only they can't declare war.
Yeah. He's irritating most of the time.
I find he didn't contribute, in my opinion, when I watched him.
He doesn't at all. And I think, to me, the worst thing is the way they'll be talking about something, and it'll be a good conversation, it'll be really interesting, and he'll just throw in something completely off the wall, completely off topic, and now they're on this different tangent, and it's like, really, asshole? Just keep your mouth shut. Pay attention to what's going on.
There's a lot of people that don't like Tinder.
Oh yeah, but because they misunderstand him, or they're told that he's a bad person, so they can't like him without actually listening to him or giving him a chance. There's a lot of that.
You have to have that channel, some other channel.
What, Chicken City? You just Google chicken. You just search Chicken City to come up.
Yeah.
If you go to his channel,
Okay.
there should be a spot in there somewhere for other channels. Or
Well, I looked last night and didn't see it.
that doesn't sound like a Chicken City.
Oh, great.
What?
Morning to Tornado Alley.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
So I personally like the science.
Ain't that tall? Look, grass.
Did they burn that?
Well, the street back there said tall grass. So I was like, well, it ain't that tall.
Oh, why did it talk? I just looked up and saw it's dark. Wow, so somebody burned it.
Yeah.
Your point about center. That is why discussion and a lot of these trees, right? So Oriana's on the block. Yep, that's the spec. Comes up. Really? It's got the potential of 20 Marlins can pull that trade like I have my concerns about their 10. But I love their starting rotation. I like what they've done with their offense, with the financial restrictions that they have. I had hoped that they were going to be in the mix for Castellanos, right? I 5 years at $100 million, which Philly got for him. I didn't think that was going to be that big of a deal for the Marlins with the way their payroll is constructed, but they couldn't do it. So I don't, and I don't like their outfield defense either. But I like some of the other moves that they made, and so I think they're a sleeper team. I don't think they can win the division. I don't think they're the second best team, but they're a team that it's not. They're certainly not fun to play against, and I don't know. I don't know if they'll push Philly either, but it's going to be a much more competitive team, right? Their offense is better. It's not perfect, but it is improved. And I'm with you, Jimmy. I like the Soler deal. Last time we saw the guy was 3 homers with the MVP of the World Series. He may go through some inconsistencies. Right? The first half was awful in Kansas City, but when he moved on to Atlanta, he was much better than 14 homers. So over 242 plate. So I think he's going to be fine. Avi Garcia, has been good. I don't like Avi playing center field. I like him more in the corner.
Need a rest stop?
So they are going to have to address that.
Need a rest stop, Linda?
Thank you.
Good.
So, but it's not perfect, obviously, on the defensive
So
side.
rest up.
Thanks for the
Okay,
call. Let's
right
go
there.
back to the phones.
Rest area.
Jim in Long Island wants to weigh in. What's up, Jim? How are you?
Another one?
Hey, James.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a question, kind of an esoteric question, but
If I did,
I got
I
2
forgot.
general managers to ask, so I thought you guys might be able to help me out. I read that that the best shortstop only saves about 2 runs per week. So my question is, what should we really be focusing on defense and different players' defensive abilities? Why shouldn't we just get a team that has a bunch of guys that can just mash the ball? Because whether or not, all these guys that play professional baseball, they're superior athletes. It's not like they're clutches out there in the field. They're all relatively good at doing this. If it's only a couple of runs per week per position, I think probably shortstop is probably less at other positions. In the outfield, for example, it would be less of a significant thing. So why emphasize defense when you're requiring players to make decisions?
Yeah,
If it's
because you totally are reading it something that's just not accurate. So
I know where
you
you're
can't
from.
sit there and say, you don't even describe which shortstops is a 2-run differential, right? And you're going to put a first baseman at shortstop and think it's only 2 runs? Yeah, your numbers, you're not reading, whatever information that you're reading it from is just, you're misinterpreting the intent. Defense matters considerably, just like offense does. When you have tremendous range in your infield, your infielders get to balls that other teams don't get to. Instead of giving up 27 outs, 24 outs, your pitching staff gets better. Defense matters. Incredible. Pitching and defense is how you win championships. Every time we cover the playoffs and World Series, at the end of the year, we're always good defensive teams. I've never covered a bad defensive team in October. Ever. Never seen it. And you can't point to one bad defensive team that's there. I'm just telling you. So, again, it does matter. So now, the next question becomes, how much does it matter between Bogarts at short and Story at short? Probably not enough to make a difference. I mean, the truth of the matter is, Trevor Story's a better shortstop defensively than Bogarts. But Bogarts is going to stay at short, and Story's going to play second, because Bogarts has been there. He is the franchise. That's who they're loyal to. They hope he stays long term. That's where he wants to be. I can argue when Alex Rodriguez went to the Yankees, he was a better defensive shortstop than Jeter, but Rodriguez had to play third for him, no doubt. So, again, you can't put bad defensive players on the field. It doesn't work. You can have one position, sometimes two, where you have a bad defender in the man. Sure you can. But you can't put bad defensive teams. You can't just get all offensive players who can't play defense and think you're going to win. Jim Glenn guy was a big league GM. Trust me, 93 had a bad defensive team. He was in fifth place 23 games out never again.
Right. Thanks for talking. I'm not sure what the article was that he was
It's
referencing,
chickens.
but let's just, again, First off,
What's that?
defensive metrics are
Chicken
not
City.
still. We
So
don't
it's
have
not very
an
entertaining.
industry that has been able to dial in. You know, it's getting better.
The only thing that's interesting is it's
but
raining there.
I just saw something down here too. Well, that's chickens. What do you see, some coops or something?
There's a lot of I'm sure you've seen a lot of events.
Oh, now they're showing pictures of the baby chicks had.
But
had-
Carlos Correa, according to Fangraphs, had the highest defensive run save.
So it cycles through several different cameras?
Defensive run
What?
save. Second was
So it cycles through several different cameras?
Lindor,
Different
who's
cameras,
supposed to
yeah.
be a good shortstop, was 5 times worse than him. And Torres was a negative -10. That is a huge difference. Huge difference. Defensively, just at that position alone. And that's one of the positions that most balls are hit up the middle. So you better be good defensively up the middle. You know, you're always. I mean, how many times have you had conversations in the front office, Jimmy? All right, how much are you willing to take let's say, a deficit defensively for the offensive player? I think we've seen over time that defense up the middle matters more. We went through a period during the 0 year where you thought maybe that you could get by with a better offensive player. That has not shown to be the case here, especially when the offense has been on decline, right? So I'm not sure exactly what the article was that you're referencing, but I mean, we've seen it in the postseason, up the middle defense. Catching, shortstop, second, center field, you still have to be strong up the middle, or else most of the time you're not sitting in the postseason series. I'll squeeze in one more call, 866 NLB NXM, before we talk about the Phillies. Let's go to Connecticut, and Brad wants to weigh in on the Yankees. What's going on, Brad? How are you?
How you doing today?
Pretty good. What's on your mind?
Upset Yankee fan. I don't think it's as upset as Al and White Plains. But, you know, going through this offseason, Yankees are mentioned in every single free agent, every single trade, I don't know, they put too much value, cash and value to prospects more than any other team in the league. Like, they can't get anything done. All these big free agents signing elsewhere. The Yankees aren't going to trade the prospects with the New York Yankees. Let's lose our money. Like, what am I missing? What are they? What are they?
Yeah, I can help you with that. They were not in on Correa. They were not in on Trevor Story. They didn't pursue the player. And the reality, Yankee fans don't understand this. Yankees lost hundreds of millions of dollars the last 2 years because of the pandemic. And they're not owned by Amazon. They're not owned by a corporation, right? They're owned by a family, right? They're family owned. Al Steinbrenner is the owner of the New York Yankees. And, they had those big losses. And then, someone said, well, how is it that some of the smaller markets are able to spend money? Well, the smaller markets actually didn't lose as much money as the bigger market teams. The bigger market teams lost more money during the pandemic than the smaller markets because they counted those revenues. They've got a lot of commitment on the books, as you know. Giancarlo Stanton's contract is huge, as you know. Garrett Cole's contract is huge. Chapman's huge. So they got a lot of money on the books as well. And they're waiting for the young shortstops to come. So, they did bring back Rizzo. They did trade for Donaldson. And Donaldson and Rizzo are going to be, right? They decided to commit to those guys instead of putting that money towards a Correa or Story. So, them not going after the shortstops has more to do with Anthony Lopez and Eduardo Peraza than it does Correa or Story. And also, the losses they've had are real. I mean, nobody wants to hear it because it's the Yankees. Nobody wants the truth because, hey, it's the Yankees. And then why are the Yankees always tied to the star players in the media? And I'm guilty as everybody else is. It's because it's the Yankees, right? And we're so used to them coming out of nowhere and signing guys, we just assume every year they're going to do it. But their finances took a big hit the last couple of years, and so that's why they are where they are right now.
Yeah. Appreciate the call. Listen, it's always about choices. A lot of times with the postseason, there's Jamie, we've been through it, you and I, personally, and then we've watched it, in this role too. The guys that are available, a week ago, that and what the asking price is a week ago changes, on a regular basis, especially this new hot stove season here. It's getting this wrong thing. The asking price.
I don't know, it's just standing there.
The asking price on Correa
Standing there for 5
is
minutes.
1 point, with Correa.
You're in, you're just standing there.
North of 275. Okay, you make that decision at the time. You're right.
Joplin March.
This example. All right, well, I don't want to pay that kind of money for him,
Like
so I'm going to move on. I've got whatever the concerns are.
Oh, he finally bent his head.
Something else. If you don't have financial flexibility, I'm going to go down this road of trading for downs and kind of for left instead. And then, boom, all of a sudden you see the market's changed after you make a deal. So that possibly could have happened here with the Yankees. I think in time, we have to judge the Yankees on what the results are, right? We talked about this earlier on Donaldson. He's healthy. That's a force of bat. But there are concerns. He just turned 36, or will be 36, as of July 1st. And, we've had a host of injuries there, but he is a force offensively. He is in the lineup. Defensively, the metrics are really good to him. They have the top in terms of third baseman, one of the top third baseman still in terms of outs per average. So, we'll see what ends up happening. It's still a really good club. There's a trade or two that they can make. Could be very easy. But the division, I'm not picking them for the division. I don't think JP is either. But it's still going to be a really good club. 866 MLB and XM. We'll get to more phone calls here in a second. I did want to talk with JP because we've pushed it off here. Phillies have made a couple of moves here recently, and the most recent one was yesterday, early in the morning.
Oh, you so could have made it. Oh, this asshole behind me just won't pass me. It's starting to
It's a
irritate me.
reunion of sorts, right, with Dave Dombrowski.
He looked like he was starting to go, and he could have made it.
The guy's been a really good offensive player.
Oh, yeah.
Over the last couple of seasons, had a doubt
I just slowed down for him.
He had some health issues, injury issues.
Just get him off
huge
behind
year,
me.
broken 100 this past year in Cincinnati. Opted out of his contract, which was they had 2 years left there in Cincy. It was a 2-year deal, $34 million. Ends up signing a 5-year deal for $100 million. When you add it to it, they got Schwarber. Schwarber the other day, 4 years and 79. You have Harper, we have Realmuto, Hoskins. Like the offense is some kind of offensive lineup. When you look at it, what do you think of those deals within the Phillies' position within the division there?
Yeah, so I really like what they did offensively. I love Nick Castellanos. I think he's the real deal. I think he's figured it out in so many different ways. Mature, become a leader. He's a winning player. I love watching his development. What he did last year,
Right, another chance.
He's going to hit 30 for the Phillies, and I think this really helps Bryce Harper. Kyle Schwarber is a
Part of
collar,
passing's-
Philadelphia work
A lot
ethic
of
kind of
passing's
guy.
been lost.
I mean, he reminds
the
me
highways.
of John Kruk, right? But he's just a great guy. And I think both of those guys are going to fit really well in Philadelphia in that lineup. My concern is they are a bad defensive team. And Schwarber and Castellanos don't help in either case. So you're going to have Harper in right, and then I guess Castellanos in left, or Castellanos and Schwarber in left, and then the other one DHing. I don't think, they both want to play in the field. Now one's in the field and one's DHing. I don't know how that's going to play, to be honest. I know Castellanos doesn't want to DH, and I understood Schwarber did. I would think Castellanos will play left and Schwarber will now have to DH. Hoskins isn't great at first. Alec Baum isn't great at third. Gregorius is in decline at shortstop.
I don't know.
I don't love Herrera and Verlin against center
That's
field
what we stopped
in a
instead.
platoon.
I think the other one was.
So I
so
worry
too.
about this
Yeah,
team
I
defensively.
still think so.
I think they'll score enough runs. But I have a hard time putting them at first or second. I got the Braves and the
I
Mets.
can hear you.
Are the M&Ms
Distance
handy?
before the Phillies
Yes,
and the
they're handy.
Marlins and then the Nationals. So how about you? How do you see it?
No, that is my biggest concern right now. The Phillies is where they are on the defensive front. They did defensively last year, and they're not any good defensively this year. So, in fact, I'd almost argue that they're worse out on the defensive side. So it is a concern. I like their rotation, the way it shapes out. Again, it's going to be healthy, but they got the issue with the knee there last year, so he's down. There's a little bit of issue there with Wheeler out of the gate. That's concerning. He had a lot of mileage there last year. The guy's had health issue before, but since he's gotten it, really hasn't been as big of a deal. I think their bullpen has always been, a work in progress, so to speak. Right? We didn't see a very good bullpen there. Joe, I think does a tremendous job of using his bullpen, but I thought Knebel, the addition of Knebel, really was good. top 5 bullpen from last year. Again, if Wheeler gives you the same number of starts, I'm not worried about the rotation. I've seen Nolan Gibson. I like Rangers runs. They can use some depth after that.
Make it.
So we'll see. But that's going to be. I think you hit it. My big concern about the defensive side. Man, it's unbelievable. They're going to have to outlive the mistakes. There's no question. I think they will. I don't think. Like the first base, like you mentioned, Hoskins. I don't think Schwarber plays there much at all. We saw him there. Lawson was not good. Looked at it. Tried to do the best he could. But I don't look at that as a big option.
God.
First base. It's got to be
Fucking pussy. Do I have to pull over for you? Shit.
I'm standing there from the Phillies side.
Now you go.
But I mean, it's going to be a fun offense. And I do like this.
There he goes and he can't go. He had plenty of space and didn't do it.
Oh, he could have made it there too, but he's a pussy. That's alright, there's a pass lane coming up.
Have been reluctant to go.
I'm going to make you go around.
You're close to it. And they moved some
Jesus Christ.
one off the staff. They regroup. They go to John Middleton and Rotorship. So at least we have an opportunity to get Castellanos too. He's a guy who's a difference maker. We want to spend his money. People allow us to go over the grocery tax. And the answer was, yes, go ahead. Like, how many times in your career, JB? The answer is, but how many times in your career could you hear Rotorship and say, yeah, we're what? Can you give me this little bit more money, or a lot more money, to go sign this guy? Like, it just doesn't happen around the game very often. I gotta
One time, March shot middle of the trade deadline in July 1995. We had a really good team. I needed starting pitching, and we blew our budget by got David Wells, and he did. Because I told him we had a chance to go to the World Series. Let me go get one more shot. I just got Bourbon, fortunately, in a trade, and I had a chance to get one guy, get greedy. And I told her, we got a great shot at getting to the World Series. Or but I know and she said, go.
And she's
it was the moment, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like as a GM, you're not going to sit there now and put your
Offline, no
talk.
data track.
But you know, this story signing puts the Red Sox over for the first time.
Almost signal.
Right, yeah. Red Sox are over. The Dodgers are over. The Padres are over. The Phillies are just look at the Padres. That was going to be tough. They're just a shade under the ball.
Are they?
These projection-wise are at 10-20. Remember, people 2-3. But right now, 4 teams at the start of the season. I think at the end it's probably 2. But you know, again, it's nice to be able to see at least some of them push 2-3. Yankees are number 2. Yankees. So, 866 MLBNXM. Gonna take a break here, but we have a couple of calls. Doug, Kyle, hang in there. We will get to you right after this.
Summertime, did you know that most commercial dog food has 50 to 64% processed cereal byproducts, even in some premium and organic brands?
I'm veterinarian Dr. Marty Goldstein, and I've saved dogs no one else could with proper nutrition, which led to my development of Nature's Blend, a freeze-dried raw food made with real cuts of meat, omega-3 rich seeds, and superfood veggies and fruit that I created to support your dog's health, happiness, and wellness.
Nature's Blend is made in North America and contains organ meat, some of the most nutritious meat you can give your pet. And it has 0 artificial preservatives, additives, or fillers. For a limited time, save 50% off your first order. Go to drmartypets.com/SXM or text SXM to 511-511.
I guarantee it with a 100% 90-day return of your purchase price.
Your dog will love the taste of Nature's Blend. Text SXM to 511-511 today. Next week, may apply. You may receive up to 1 additional tax. Text not go out now.
Christopher Mando Russo here, and it's time to bring you another edition of my award-winning podcast series, Digging Up the Past. We look back at the history of the NCAA tournament, focusing on the period from 1979 through 1989. Bird versus Magic, the rise of the Big East. It's all in there as we talk to the most prominent figures of the era, including Coach K and Jim Boeheim. It's Digging Up the Past, history of the NCAA tournament with me, Christopher Russo. Episodes 1 and 2 are now available on the SXM app. Just search Digging.
With so many mesothelioma lawyers, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and here's my advice to you. Do your research. Results matter. Reputation matters. As America's largest injury firm, we have more offices, more lawyers, and more caring staff members than any other injury firm in the world. Last year alone, our team answered over 2 million of your calls and recovered over $1 billion for our clients. $30 billion was set aside for mesothelioma victims like you. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, we'll come to you within 24 hours so our team can get to work right away. Wherever you are, whenever you want. Our goal is to get you as much as you deserve. Call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited.
Call 1-800-602-5900. 1-800-602-5900. That's 1-800-602-5900. Call now.
When you use Power Service Clear Diesel Fuel and Tank Cleaner, you engage Power Service. And things become more clear. You know how to fold a map. You understand your third grader's homework. You can even spread butter properly. You know what else is clear? Your diesel fuel tank. Because Power Service Clear Diesel Fuel and Tank Cleaner disperses contaminants and removes water and slime. Get into Power Service. When you add Power Service Diesel Clean Plus Cetane Boost to your tank, you engage Power Service. And everything goes right. The vending machine drops an extra bag of chips. Your tiny whiteys become less tiny and more whitey. And you acquire the nickname Stud Muffin. You know what else goes right? Your diesel engine. Because Power Service Diesel Clean Boost Cetane to restore lost power and fuel economy. And it's endorsed by Cummins. Get into Power Service.
Ross, the Chicago Cubs. It's gonna be a great trip, and the Cubs win. Cubs win the ball game. You're listening to MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM.
The front office, Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden.
All right, the news with Trevor Story signing a deal with the Boston Red Sox, a 6-year deal for $140, could be as high as 7 years at $160. There's an opt-out after year 4, and the opt-in are basically you can negate. The Red Sox could negate that option, that opt-out, by picking up the 7th year, which would make the deal 7 years at $160. He's going to play second base for the Red Sox. So that's been the headline so far today. The Red Sox, or the Yankees rather, signed a minor league deal with Marwin Gonzalez, former Astro. So he is in the mix there, at least to try to make the club. Spring training, we'll see what that looks like as well from the Yankee side. 866 LBNXM is the number. Thanks for holding on. I've got a couple of calls here. Let's go first to Texas, and Doug wants to weigh in. What's going on, Doug? How are you?
Hey guys, really enjoyed the show. Driving through West Texas, dodging some tumbleweeds in the wind, but have a trade idea that I was hoping that you guys could help me work through in my mind if it would work out. Sending Joey Votto back to Canada, to Toronto. Thinking about sending Will Myers in that same trade to the Reds. And then Lourdes Gurriel and Tyler Naquin to the Padres. What else do you think would need to happen in that trade to kind of make that happen? I think it would help the Reds get the money off the books for Votto's 2 years plus left. And I think Will Myers only has 1 year plus. So just want your thoughts on it.
Okay, appreciate the call. First off, 3 team deals are difficult to first off, just on the talent alone, Votto's the best player of the group, right? And I don't get the sense that Cincinnati needs to move any more money. They've moved enough. And it sounds like they were trying to add more money. So first off, that part of it for me, Votto had a bounce back year. I feel he can control where he goes. Now, would he go to Toronto? I'm sure that he would, obviously, right? But I don't get the sense right out of the gate that Votto is what Cincinnati needs to make. So that's number 1. 2, Myers, I mean, I think Myers, Padres have been trying to trade Myers for a couple of years. I think he's there. Like, I don't think he's moving anywhere. And Gurriel, I mean, I think Gurriel's still a young, talented player with the Jays. Like, I don't see, you know, I don't know. I just don't see how they can make it that work in even a 3-team in there from BJB. Those are hard to kind of do. I think Gurriel, the only thing I've heard with Gurriel is that, you know, if they were to match up with the Guardians for Jose Ramirez, that, you know, could be Gurriel plus a couple of top prospects for Ramirez. Like, I don't think Gurriel is a guy that the Jays are interested in either.
No, they're not. They are. You know, look, the Jays need a left-hand hitter, though, and certainly Votto in the DH spot would be a really good fit for them. I would love to see a trade made, maybe at the trade deadline, if the Reds are out of it, which I expect them to probably be out of it, you know, come the end of July. Trying to find a way to get him to Toronto, I think would make a lot of sense. And that left-handed bat would be huge in that lineup. And the intelligence of Votto to be able to share that with Guerrero and Bichette and their younger players there would be dynamic, in my opinion. I think he could really help someone like Biggio, as an example, develop his bat a little bit. So I just don't know the pathway to do that. You know, if you're in Toronto, I don't know how you make that work with Cincinnati. I agree with you. In the Padres' perspective, there's no way you can move Myers. They've tried for 2 years.
Right. I just don't think Cincinnati can even take on that money either. So anyway, thanks for calling. I think the more, if Votto's even traded in, I think Toronto is really a good fit. I think it'd be a straight fit. You know, we can talk about that, maybe a prospect type of deal, straight up. But I would think we'd try to see it around the deadline. Another call on the Reds, 866 MLB and XM. Let's go to West Virginia. Kyle wants to weigh in on the Reds. What's up, Kyle?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Out for a morning run, so if I'm out of breath, I apologize. On the Reds, kind of build on Votto. I mean, as a big Reds fan, I want them to trade Votto. I hope he can wait for no trade and let them have a chance to win. Let's get real, he's not winning in Cincinnati anytime in the near future. And with the trade last week, I was expecting just to pick up my phone and see at any time Luis Castillo going, what are they waiting on? They're not going to win. What will they get back from him? What will they get back from Votto if they trade on a prospect? Because I'm more interested in watching the Dayton Dragons this year than the Reds. Maybe a timeline of 2025 to win. Maybe I'm just disgruntled, but I mean, aligning their resources and payroll or whatever they came out with that earlier in the year, all this TV money coming in, it's just really disappointing time. Just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I will say this: the one trade I liked that they made was the Sonny Gray trade to get Chase Petty. If it was 100 to 103, if Chase Petty lives up to that first-round billing, this guy Chase has been really good. You've got Hunter Green coming, and Nick Lodolo coming. They probably make their debuts this year at some point. Lodolo probably had 100 Green, but I think both of them could be ready as early as 2023. I was really disappointed in the Weaver trade. I just didn't understand that one in Seattle. I thought that was just a horrible trade. You know, and I know Suarez, you know, was coming off a couple of bad years, but, you know, this is still a 30 home run bat. And the contract wasn't that ridiculous. You know, you moved him to shortstop, that didn't help. He's got the contract. And I think he's up for a bounce back here. I think you'll see him bounce back with Seattle. But Winker's an all-star. Like, he's a budding star in this game. Like, that's the part I didn't understand, is why you traded Jesse Winker. And then if you trade Winker, you know, you got a bunch of extra players in that trade coming back. That trade made no sense to me. I thought it was the most lopsided trade of the whole winter. I didn't mind the Gray trade. Now, to answer your question, one GM told me a couple of days ago that the Reds said they are not trading Luis Castillo. That they're holding on to him. They have no intention of trading him. You would do well with Castillo because everyone needs starting pitching, and you would get a nice prospect package for him, I think. But yeah, as a Reds fan, you got to be frustrated. And yet there's some good talent on that team. But to watch Winker and Castellanos and Suarez leave, it's discouraging. You know why it's discouraging? Because if they had expanded playoffs last year, the Reds would have gotten in the playoffs. They were in. If you could just keep the team intact for another year, you could have been a playoff team this year. And to break it down like that quick, I get the finances. You know, I was the GM there for a long time, but I also think it's sad that I was the last GM to get the team to the NLCS, and it had gone through 7 GMs, and I think that's sad.
Seven.
Since then,
yeah, since then, that's a tough track record, really. If you look at it, and I'm with you. I thought the Reds should have kept exactly what they had, and I would have been. I mean, they would have been pushing for the wild card. Now, I mean, I can't even believe what they're saying. What they're saying is, oh, we're going to start spending more money, and then their first move was, okay, we add Mike Minor. I mean, that's okay. It's fine. We had Donovan Solano. Okay, fine. But I mean, really? That means you have to move Greg, Winker, and Suarez. Those are your first moves after that?
And losing Castellanos in free agency, which okay, we understand that.
Yeah, I'm not feeling real good about the Reds. I think it's back to mediocrity, even rebuild on that. So hang in there, Reds fans. We feel you. All right, we got to take a break here. 866 MLB next up. We can get back to our phone calls here after the update. But when we come back, Jenny connects with Vice President and Assistant General Manager of the Boston Red Sox, Raquel Ferreira, and Women's Month here on the channel. But we'll get to that here after the
The Red Sox have locked up free agent Trevor Story on a 6-year, $140 million contract. Reports USA Today's Bob Nightingale, 29-year-old, hit 24 home runs, drove in 75 with 20 stolen bases in 142 games last season for the Rockies. The Marlins have reportedly agreed to terms on a 3-year, $36 million deal with the reigning World Series MVP, Jorge Soler. The contract reportedly has opt-outs in each of the first 2 seasons. Nationals third baseman Carter Kieboom says he will be out a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks to recover from a flexor mass strain in his right forearm. Cardinals pitcher Jack Flaherty told reporters that a video study showed a change in mechanics might have been the cause of his recent shoulder bursitis. Flaherty's been shut down for 2 weeks following a PRP injection. Among the big moves this past week were the Dodgers adding longtime Brave Freddie Freeman to their lineup. President of Baseball Operations Andrew Freeman on what he sees Freeman adding to LA's already booked squad.
Obviously, the impact he has in the lineup, what he does in the field, his desire to play 162, how much he cares about winning. You know, all of that is obvious and goes without saying.
Cubs and left-handed pitcher Drew Smiley have agreed to terms of a 1-year contract, reportedly worth $5.25 million with an additional $2.5 million in incentives. Tigers will sign pitcher Michael Pineda to a 1-year, $5.5 million contract. 33-year-old 9-8 with a 3.62 ERA for the Twins this past season. Brewers second baseman Luis Urias suffered a quad injury, was removed from the exhibition game on Saturday against the Rangers. Manager Craig Counsell says Urias will undergo additional tests on that injury. The Dodgers agreed to terms of free agent pitcher Danny Duffy on a 1-year pact with a club option for 2023. For MLB Network Radio, I'm Scott Jackson.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations? At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I don't have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
Itemized deductions. Can someone help with these 1099?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I would indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, he wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-370-8283. 800-370-8283. 800-370-8283.
Optima Tax Relief.
testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. You take pride in your commercial building. Certipro Painters takes pride in renewing and protecting it, because first impressions are everything. They'll begin with a full review of your painting project, then manage every detail from prepping to finishing, on time and on budget. Each year, more than 20,000 commercial building owners trust their property to Certipro Painters. You can too. Go to Certipro.com today and get your proposal started. That's Certa with a C. Proudly used Sherwin-Williams Paints and Stains. Certipro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
This is Aaron Boone, manager of the New York Yankees.
Yankees win!
And you're listening to MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM.
This March, volume gets fierce. I'm Lori Majewski. In celebration of Women's History Month, I've got 5 new episodes of Fierce Women in Music. You'll hear from Grammy-winning engineer Emily Lazar, 2022 Grammy nominee Allison Russell, and I'll kick things off with my Women's History Month playlist. Fierce Women in Music on Volume SiriusXM Channel 106. And hear it anytime on the SXM app, free for most subscribers.
The front office, Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden.
March, it's been Women's History Month, and our own Jenny Kavner caught up with the Red Sox. Raquel Ferrer, she's the executive vice president and assistant general manager for the Red Sox, and first thing she asked her was if working in sports was always on her radar as a little girl.
No, you know what? I think it was on my radar. I don't exactly remember the exact time, but I just knew that I had this love of sports, and back when I was going to school, back in the Stone Age, I didn't think that was possible, right?
Looks
so
like a decent station.
I didn't know what path to take. I didn't know there was such thing as internship. So, but I knew that in my head, my dream job is I would love to work in sports one day.
Tiny buildings outside.
And so when you enter the world of sports, you enter the business with the Red Sox, just kind of talk about your path, where you began and what you thought your future might look like, and then obviously how it ended up.
It was convenient to get there.
What I think my future might change, I think, when our new ownership group took over.
So we're out in BFE, Kansas. Everything's relatively easy to get to.
Our old ownership group, and I came in as an administrative assistant in minor league scouting, and it wasn't the job that I envisioned myself being in, but one of my oldest sisters said, if you find a job in the industry that you want,
I didn't see much of any other business, but they got us on it.
hard work pays off, someone will reward you.
We're stopping it.
So I took this job
B-break.
as an admin assistant.
B-break.
But when our new ownership group came in,
It's mild yet.
things just, you felt this shift.
It's announced it. I don't want to press it.
Was, and how
Well, I should say I don't want it to press me.
And so we had a new
Just do drive up if they got it.
come in, and that was the first time I ever had somebody sit me down and ask me what I wanted to do in my career, and that was COS team. And so things sort of shifted from there, and he let me sort of design my own path.
Sorry, I want to get out of here.
Quite often I like to do a refill.
Did the meth addicts mention to you where they wanted to go?
Yeah, they mentioned the street, but I don't remember. 52 miles.
See that water tower?
Yeah.
That's where they want to go.
You're shitting me.
Nope.
Are you over 65 or turning 65?
That's why I want to get out of here, because they're trouble.
Or already have a plan. Important changes at Medicare take place every year that most Americans miss. Get your Medicare maximized with Chapter, a free service that makes sure you have the right plan now. Continued concierge service whenever you need it. At Chapter,
I'll take a chip.
thousands of plans
Type.
from the most
Sometimes
trusted
bag of
insurers
chips.
to find our members
More than
the
likely,
best
they're
and
after more than
most
just a
affordable
ride.
plans for
Yeah, I
them.
think they're
The
probably
right
looking for
Medicare coverage for you.
money.
Certain plans to cover gaps in Medicare Part A and Part B. Important benefits like vision, dental,
No, I wanted some type of chip. Well, also Freezer bar. I didn't care. I do. I didn't care.
By the Better Business Bureau. The service is free, so call and speak with an advisor. Let us help your next chapter be the best one yet. Call 800-438-0655. 800-438-0655. 800-438-0655.
Whose place?
Rick.
Rick. Oh, did it? Didn't see that.
right, so back to the phone lines next to hold on. 266 Steve, if you're in the east, Brooklyn, Sully is on the line. Sully, thanks for holding on.
Okay.
John, please hold on. Thanks for taking my call, pal. I've been around since the days of man will watch me. But in the 2000s, after they stopped winning, they started bringing in guys to play, but not making great teams, so to speak. They had the Army, they had Sheffield, they had monsters. What they didn't base on, they didn't feel the position. And it was easy by seeing them spend less money that was more fundamentally down along the lines of the Tampa Bay. So I'm just trying to find a little optimism. You know, there's a lot of pessimism here now in New York that the Yankees aren't spending, they didn't make the right moves. I'm looking at the defense, guys, and with Rizzo, Flipper at short, Donaldson, Judge and Gallo in the outfield, and the catcher, whether it be the new kid or Higashioka, you got a handful of above-average players on defense. You got Hicks that's going to play sometimes in center field, which makes it one more really good glove. The only glove that I would say is middle of the road is Torres at second. He's a horrible shortstop, but he's a more than adequate second base. The base running's going to be better. I really like some of the young arms, unheralded young arms. You haven't seen them yet, but I think you will this year. Luis Medina is a monster. I think you've already seen Gill, you've seen Davey Garcia. If they can straighten him out a little bit, they've already got 5 starters, and I'm figuring they're going to try and get one guy from Oakland before the season starts, one of the two, Montas or Manea, if possible. I'm not down on him as a lot of people are. I just want to know, your take on it. The big bad Yankees trying to play, fundamental ball and getting better at the margin.
Yeah, look, I think the Yankees have a good team. I think they're going to have a chance with 90 games. Right? I think they're in a really tough division. I think that's part of the problem here. They certainly, I don't look at the Yankees to say that
what place? That's too much money to spend.
Toronto. Sure changed from how it used to be where pay to get in, going any ride.
Yeah, now individual rides cost. That's what wokeism has done for them.
Defense is a problem for the Yankees. It's not right now, right?
They charge you for every
are above average defender. Aaron Hicks is above average defender in center.
You can't even get your picture taken with any of the characters.
Malefa's won a gold glove at third. He's good at shortstop. Torres, he's good at second base. He can't play shortstop, but second base is a position. He's a good player. And as you mentioned, Rizzo and Donaldson are plus. And behind the plate, he's going to. I'm sorry about the Gary Sanchez lovers, but behind the plate, he's Jordan Kearns. I think they're going to be a better team with Gary Sanchez not catching. I got so sick of watching the pass ball. I did, and I understand he called a good game, could throw out runners. I understand all the things that they do well. You can't block the ball. You can't catch the ball at times. And so I think that's going to help them. But, I think Yankee fans got spoiled in the 90s with the World Championship clubs, and that became the expectations. I think the Yankees have a good team, but, look, I think Yankee fans in the olden days, you would have gotten Correa or Story to play shortstop instead of Connor Floyd. And I think that's the biggest issue, right? The Yankees back in the day would have been able to get Freeman or Olsen. And, this is a good player. I get it. Connor Floyd is a good player. I get it.
If it's costing him $500, I guess maybe the families won't do the fast things.
Throughout their lifetimes,
but
because
still,
they're not used to getting good players. They're used to getting great players.
We have a family of 4. That's
well,
$2,000.
I think the team's going to be a good one. I don't think that the team's going to they're pushing 242 as well. So it's something that I expect a little bit better there. But I do think that's your point, Sully.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's a premium.
Defense is definitely I'm sure. That too. So it's a little bit better balanced in the lineup than it was last year. So I think they'll be better in that sense too. Jackie in Boston has some concerns there with Trevor Story. What's up, Jackie?
Good afternoon. Good morning, guys.
Trevor Story going to the Red Sox.
I'm loving for 2022. Would you like to say Jim, let's go?
No, Rockies.
But I'm thinking about
one of their star players going to Boston.
The opt-out. And from the team perspective,
and we knew he was leaving.
For re-signing Devers, what does it mean?
It's kind of sad that it's official now.
What does it mean for Marcelo Mayer with Nick York?
Because Rockies didn't want to pay him.
How do you balance all that?
Okay, so I'm gonna answer this. this is a good contract for Trevor Story, right? He's 23. The opt-out, the Red Sox indicated by adding the 7-year option, which I would think they would do at $20 million. So really, it's going to be a 7-year deal, right? At the end of the day, so I'm not worried about that.
Baseball.
But they didn't give him no trade policy. He doesn't have any trade protection. So look, if York and Meyer are ready, I trade him. Now, they want to sign Bogarts. He's represented by Scott Boras. Their plan is to sign him and to keep him a shortstop. That's what they want. Their plan is to extend Devers and to keep him. They haven't been able to do it yet. Just like they weren't able to extend that. So they've got insurance for Story. That's what they've got. And a good player.
Yeah, the market for Bogarts has gone up, right? He's making
but that also the fact that it's
so he's opted out. But it doesn't mean he can't stay there. Devers, they can keep him.
Average
They
career.
still have time to keep him. But they're going to have to manage their payroll a little bit better. No doubt on that for sure. We'll talk more here about the Red Sox in our final hour.
Well, not for Tom Brady.
But yeah,
He just keeps going and going.
Don't know when I quit.
same token though is
There are tons of job opportunities
the income
out there,
of
but
tickets,
most of them are just that.
media,
Jobs.
advertising, and everything else is still going to be
Actually make a difference in people's
They
lives.
must get it
Now,
as opposed
you can
to
too. Join Paul Davis' employee first culture.
unless they want to run it to the city.
Serving others in their
Take a 30
When disaster strikes a home or business, and there's
The owner's
property
still taking
damage
his
that needs repair,
cut.
Paul Davis is there to help people get their lives back to
He'll just
normal
get that much
fast.
more if
Apply
they
at pauldavis.com/careers
Maybe you should take
today. Become
let's
a
take a
difference
third,
maker.
all of it goes to local city. No, I don't need that.
I have wanted to do this for so long. It's going to be extending our conversation that we have together on Instagram, on TikTok, and taking it to the next level. We're going to be talking about what's going on with me, what's going on with you, and everything in between. Dating, anxiety, how to deal with your toxic roommate. Why is that question coming up so much? We're going to have call-ins, I'm going to read DMs, and I can't wait to hear your guys' voices.
It's me takes live on Sirius XM Stars Channel 109. Now use XMM. Free for most subscribers.
Hey, Ray Mariozzi here. I don't know about you, but my car could use a few upgrades. I mean, the 8-inch steer in the driver's seat does have sentimental value, since my butt has molded to fit it, but I'm ready to move on. My solution? eBay Motors. They've got all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, from seat covers to whole new seats. When I get that new seat, I think I'll put the old one in the living room, right next to the minivan seats, or as we call it, the sectional. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hear from the biggest names in baseball on MLB Network Radio.
They really had to trust that I was going to be able to lead a group of young men.
Yankees Class A manager Rachel Balkovic.
I love the idea of leadership and how to get a group of people to come together and become, friends and teammates and go towards a common goal. That's what I'm most passionate about.
To hear baseball's best interviews, just search my name on the SXM app and tune to MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89.
This is Kevin Cash from the MMA Rays.
He can jog around the bases this time.
You're listening to MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM.
The front office, Jimmy Kent and Jim Bowden.
All right, 866-652-6696 is the phone number. We can take more calls. We've had a ton of calls today. We'll keep them coming. If you want to give us a ring, we'll get you on as soon as we can. 866 MLB on XM. Trevor Story News has ruled the morning show here so far. Signed the deal with the Boston Red Sox 6 years at $140 million. An opt-out after his 4th year. The Red Sox can regain to a 7th year for $21 million. So we get a 7-year deal for $160. He's going to play second base for them as well. A couple other signings. You mentioned this, the great JB, Brad Brock, and Brock Holt, both signing with the Atlanta Braves. What do you think of the Braves moves here? I know we talked a little bit about them. They went and got Metals. Gave him a huge deal, right? He paid him $160. They signed Kenley Jansen, 1-year deal for $16 million. Colin McHugh, Brad Brock, Brock Holt. Is this a block party? A Brock party? No. What are we putting
on a Brock Handy with that comment? Look, I love what Alex Anthopoulos has done. It's really interesting to me because I love this Matt Olson trade because he had to give up Michael Harris, he had to give up a pitcher. I love Matt Olson. 4.5 years younger than Freddie Freeman, better defender than Freeman, more power than Freeman. Freeman's a better hitter, but really, Freeman is 32, right? And Olson's 27. So if you want to tell me, you want to ask me who's going to do better over the next 6 years. I know Olsen signed 8 years, but Freeman got 6 with the Dodgers. Over the next 6 years, I'll bet on Olsen over Freeman. And now to have Olsen, Riley, Acuna, and Albies all under control for the next 5 years at reasonable dollars, it's a really good job at GMing. You can say what you want. I know, Freeman's a fan favorite, and we all wanted the face of the franchise to finish his career there like Chipper Jones did, and we're all disappointed that it's not going to happen. I get all those sentimental things, and I agree with it. Freeman signed, developed in the organization, and it culminated with a world championship. But honestly, if you want to talk about what was the better decision, it was to let Freeman go and to trade for Olsen. That's the better baseball decision. If you take the sentimental part out of it, honestly, it is. And I know Freeman was the leader of the clubhouse and off the field, everywhere else. But that's a better baseball move for the next 6 years, no doubt in my mind. And then to be able to take the bullpen, which I thought was the main reason they're world champions, those 4 relievers, right? Will Smith, Luke Jackson, Tyler Madsen, AJ Minter. Those 4 guys that we covered in October is the reason they're world championships. You can talk about Soler, Rosario, and how they did in the LCS and World Series. We can talk about all the superstars on. Let me tell you what, those 4 relievers, ball game over. And now you've added Jansen, McHugh, plus you still have Thornburg and O'Day that are going to be factors. Like, wow. I mean, you are so protected that if you have a lead after 5 or 6, you're going to win. This is a great defensive team. I didn't say good. This is a great defensive team. I'll argue the second best in the league to the Cardinals defensively. Right? They've got speed.
The only thing I
They've
wouldn't
got
have
power.
any interest in
They've got leadership with Brian Snicker in the dugout. I'm telling you, we can talk all we want.
That's like the only thing I would have interest in.
Pitching, they got a chance to go right back to that World Series.
Star Wars?
Yeah, that's the only thing I pay to go to.
Oh, okay, that's not.
Yeah, that for sure. Maybe
It's the
we're
only
talking about
one in
Freeman
Disneyland that I would pay
Dodgers.
for. Anything else for me? I'm not a Disney person. I'm not a fan of
Talk
Disney.
about the Dodgers.
Yeah, I would go just for the Star
I think
Wars.
we need to.
But
They signed a
looking
big
at
deal,
this,
right, for Freeman.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
6 years,
It's like you're actually in one of those cities on Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's basically $7 million per year, 2022 through 24, and $12 million per year, 25 and 26
And
and
you
27.
get to ride in the Millennium
So the present day value is 148, but in the books it's 6 and 162. And they, of course, they added a couple other guys. They added Tyler Anderson.
And I'm not a big Star Wars
just the
fan,
other day to add
but
to
it's
their
pretty
rotation.
awesome.
They've already added
If he's speed
One of
traveler,
those little cities where we have a little.
So, I mean, when you look at this group
I think he's there for the construction.
they added so Dave Duffy on the IL, Nelson on the IL, doesn't get anything back at some point in the year.
Plus, they speed trap on our side.
What do you think of the
Just
Dodgers?
get the other side of the stretch where people haven't already slowed down.
They're still the best team.
But that Don would be nice, probably over there. If it's speed traffic,
by a long shot,
clock him coming, and he's already.
I think they had a bad trade. I don't think this is a good one at all for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That being said, do I love Freddie Freeman signed? Sure. But I mean, you lost Corey Seager, who does the same thing, right? 300, 300, performs in the big stage. So, I think that's kind of a wash, right? But you lost in the bullpen. You lost Kevin Jansen, Corey Knebel, and Joe Kelly. You lost 3 really good relief pitchers, right? You lost Max Scherzer. So you lost Scherzer, Jansen, Kelly, and Knebel. 4/11ths of your pitching staff. 4/11ths of it. You lost 4 key guys. And you lost Seager, but you added Freeman, so okay.
It
that
reminds me a little bit of some.
You added pitching depth. Tyler Anderson, Andrew Heaney, and Danny Duffy. Okay.
We went to
You added Daniel Hudson to the bullpen with Jimmy Nelson. Okay.
Las Vegas.
Subtractions
The
far
track we
outweigh
went
the
on.
additions.
There.
Far.
This
When you talk
whole
about
Disneyland thing reminds me of that. Because they put you on a
best
show,
starter,
of course, in the
your
Millennium
best
Falcon.
reliever,
They
your
have you
best
sitting,
reliever.
they rush you
All
in,
gone.
put you down, and then they have the characters that come up.
Joe Kelly's ERA in
You
September,
get to go
October
through
was
the
like
video like you're
he
flying
was
through space.
dominant. Corey Knebel was
awesome.
throwing like he did when he closed Milwaukee at the end of the year. So they've lost a lot. Now, that being said, let's take a deep breath. The Dodgers are the best linemen in the National League. I'm not going to get into the Blue Jay debate with, their lineup. I'm just going to go nationally, so we don't debate it. They have the best lineup in the National League, and they've got 3 MVPs, and they've got all-stars up and down the lineup. This offense is like the Big Red Machine was in the mid-70s. This is just unbelievable, and I think Bellinger will bounce back. So this is an unbelievable offensive team. Now, we talk about the pitching. I love Buehler, I love Urias, I love Gonsolin. I don't know if Kershaw's elbow is going to hold up. Neither do the Dodgers, or they wouldn't have made him take a $17 million pay cut. Or a $14 million pay cut. You don't make him take a $14 million pay cut if you're not worried about his elbow. You wouldn't do that to Clayton Kershaw. But you're worried about him. All right? So who else is going to pitch? You're not going to see Dustin May. So don't even bring up Dustin May to me. So who else is pitching? Me? Okay. We'll see. That's all I'm going to say. We'll see. Am I going to pick them to win the division? Yes. But am I going to put them in the World Series? I'm not sure I am. I'm not sure that the Mets and Braves and Brewers don't have a better chance to get in the World Series.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because, it's not the 106-win team that they were last year. They have a better offense. Their offense has been good, but they have a better offense even this year. But they don't have the pitching, like you said, that they've had in the past. Certainly more certainty with was the past year or two. And like I said, Scherzer moving on as well. That's what they ended up with at the end of the season. The back end of the rotation, they've done a really good job of kind of getting that back end of the rotation through 2 times through the lineup and turning it over to the bullpen. So, how they get outs, how they Roberts uses the pitching. Price looks like he goes back to the bullpen. That's an interesting piece coming out. Multiple Wisconsin, of course, as that extra depth. I like Hudson as a setup to try to really give you last year, but man, Kenley, Kelly, those are big losses. So I'm really interested to see what the situation ends up being with the Dodgers there. It's a little bit different the way they've gone about it. They're pushing a high payroll also, but I still think they're the best team in that division. And I don't know who's next after that. Giants probably. I still like the Giants a little bit better. I would have liked them a lot better if they had gotten Trevor Story or if they had gotten Chris Bryant. It seemed like they ran out of Ryan. If they had gotten another piece there. Real quick, before we go back to the phones at 866-652-6696, who's the second best team? I mean, Padres, they've done some things, but I mean, Tatis being out, that is a huge loss for them. And I mean, some uncertainty about how he's going to come back and when he's going to come back. And, this was a team that had a bad mix in the clubhouse last year. Even though Bob Bell was going over there, it just doesn't get fixed overnight. I mean, I don't know, I got my concerns about the Padres too.
Yeah, look, I think the Padres are going to be better than people think. And I think Bob Bell is going to make a big difference. I think that was the best the lineup, there's some questions, right? I mean, there's no doubt. Hosmer and Will Myers have become kind of an albatross for that offense, right? It just has been. And the injury to Tatis, as you mentioned, is huge. And they have a hole in left field, too. I mean, right now, I guess it's Jurickson Profar out there. But, corner outfield's not good, right? I think Voit will help in his DH spot. He can play some first as well. But what I do like about the Padres, and why I think they'll be better than people think, is I think Musgrove has developed into a real legitimate, consistent starter. I think Yu Darvish and Blake Snell will do better their second year in San Diego. I do believe that. And I think Mike Clevenger is going to be comeback player of the year, coming back from Tommy John. So the rotation is so good, the defense is good. I think the Padres are going to be good. I haven't decided if I'm going Padres or Giants for second place. But I want to talk to you about the Giants for a minute. Because I also last year had a hard time buying it. No Buster Posey at all, right? Yes. All right, so I like the Rodon signing if the shoulder holds up.
Yes.
Okay. So Webb, Rodon, Esclafani, Wood, Cobb, it's decent. Not great, but it's decent. Keeping games, right? Bullpen's good, right? I like Doval a lot. McGee, Rogers, it's good. I like it. I struggle with the lineup. And I know last year they mixed and matched, but last year both Bell and Crawford had huge years playing for a contract here. are they going to regress back to the norm? Or all of a sudden at age 33 and 35, do they just get better? I don't know. I kind of feel like there's regression. Gordy's playing at 36 years old. Yastrzemski's at 31 years old. Joplin March is making the DH, but he's more of a guy, 30 hitter. Yeah. I don't know. I like Joey Bart's power. I don't know how much he's going to hit. I don't know. I look at the Giants and I just, I still don't know how they won 100 plus games last year. When you watch them play, you understood. But I look at this team and I don't see it. I just don't see it. So I don't know. I guess right now you have to put it in second place. Padres third place team. If they had a healthy Tatis though, I would have taken the Padres.
I'm still enjoying this drive better than 70.
Definitely second place. But, Padres,
yes. I like looking at the old stuff, looking for signs of something that's 50s or 60s.
But I don't think that'll happen with Elvis.
Because I've been down 44 so much, but
that's fair.
They do have a lot of antique balls and stuff right there.
And with Bob there, yeah, things will definitely change. Probably not. I think their pitching gets better. Change up.
And this thing stick field here, I think it was there back in 1950.
I mean, you were hearing his name mentioned back in the summer. I mean, if you felt like that, you probably should be in the summer. I'm not a big fan of making changes and seeing any coaches, but if you felt that way, then do it. Why wait till August? That's eyewash at that point. So, I don't know. I think, to your point on the Giants, though, they're concerned about the offense. I don't know. I was skeptical, and it worked the way they did the platooning. And I don't know if it can work again. They're doing some things really, really well here. But I don't know how you replace Posey, not just the offense, but his catching. Like, those are huge shoes to fill here. Bart and Sally. And, on top of the fact that, his offense right below the line, I think you hit on it. It's hard to expect career years out of Bill Crawford again.
Right? And Posey's a 300 hitter with 20 home run power, but more importantly, clutch hits every night. A game on the line, he gets the hit, he wins the game. You're going to miss that. And the other thing that I think, and I'm telling you, I know we don't measure it, and you can't have a metric for it, but Posey's ability to call a game in-game was second to Molina, like in this era. And there's no way Joey Bart is going to be able to pitch sequence close to what Posey did. There's no way. There's no way. And when you take mediocre pitching and put it with Posey, mediocre pitching is good pitching. And so I'm not sure you're not going to have a little step back, not having Posey there with the pitching staff. I don't know. Look, I've got the Dodgers winning this division handily. I do. I don't think it's going to be the race we had last year. And I haven't decided if I'm going to Giants Padres. I want to watch in the spring and see how Darvish, Snell, and Clemens will look. And then determine there. Because I really like the rotation of potential that the Padres have. I didn't see it last year. The only guy that pitched consistently well was Joe Musgrove. But I have a hard time thinking they'll be better this year.
I mean, they're going to need to change some of their pitching, the coaching staff. So hopefully those guys will be more consistent.
And I'll tell you the other thing. And I'm going to put it out there right now. I know we're in March. If the Padres get off to a bad start, they need to sell. So if you get off to a bad start, and we get to the beginning of June, they're going to have to trade Darvish, Snell, and some of them, and try to get prospects back. Because their window is small. There's no way they can maintain this payment. There's no way. And I know they're trying to get Myers and Hosmer's contracts off the books, but they're not going to be able to do that. But if they get off to a slow start without Tatis, I'm not going to be surprised if AJ starts selling.
Like when you say slow start, you mean like below 500, right?
Yes.
Because if they're close to, like if they can stay around 500,
they'll be fine.
They got Tatis back, they'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if everything goes wrong like it did the end of the year for them, they would have to consider selling.
I mean, that was one of the worst. I mean, from a team that was supposed to be pushing the Dodgers for the division to one of the worst records. That was
Bucket of popcorn, $11.
The other thing I'll say is that if it's true
At Disneyland.
that they're willing to put Robert Hassel
You don't get refills.
Myers or Hosmer if somebody takes the contract, I would take it. I would
going
take
there.
that. Take that contract.
Not going there.
Well, if I went, the only one I'd go to is part.
I wouldn't trade it, but
Star Wars to it and be done. Because the Star Wars one is pretty
I'll tell
awesome.
you the other thing is going to be interesting to watch is how CJ Abrams does in spring training.
But I'd skip the popcorn too.
If he has a great spring training, I'm okay with him making the team shortstop.
Listen, AJ will not hesitate to bring him up either, right? I mean, neither will Bob. So that's a good position to we can see what ends up happening on that. Let's go to the phones, 866-652-6696. Let's see. Mitch in Kansas City has a thought with the Royals. There's been some rumors about Frankie Montas. What's going on there, Mitch? Nope, we lost Mitch. All right, let's call us back, Mitch. If you're listening, 866-652-6696. Let's go to Georgia next. Aaron is up. What's going on, Aaron?
Hey guys, love your show.
Thank you. Appreciate the call, man.
I was going to say, because you're paying the money you're paying for
I was listening to Kyle in West Virginia talking about the Reds, and I just want to chime in as just a lifelong Reds fan, and then I have a two-part question for you. First of all, Mr. Rosen, you know, Reds fans, we emotionally invest in our team and our players, so in my whole life, I've been a Reds fan almost 50 years.
Unless you're supposed to get around the tail and just stay there.
Like the Winker trade. I mean, it was not just trading a
I know
great
how it
player,
works.
but like the most
The other guy
positive,
didn't either.
upbeat player, and it was just like a kick in the teeth. And then I grieved that for about a day, and then I'm like, okay, you know, if we're gonna have to rebuild, and you know, let's trade Castillo and not attach money, but get as much as we can. And then all of a sudden, now they pivot and they're, you know, signing decent role players like Solano and Moran and Mike Minor, and then you're like, what is going on? So my questions are twofold. Number one, could they make any kind of move or trade, like for say a Trey Mancini or somebody that could help them compete this year? But my real question is, can you help us as Reds fans understand what they're even doing? Thank you. I'll hang up and listen to your response. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I'm not going to help you because I don't understand what they're doing. And I'll be honest with you. And I'm a Nick Kroll fan. I hired Nick Kroll as my last hire as GM of the Reds when I was there. He was an intern that I hired. And I root for Nick. But, you know, in my job here, I've got to be non-biased and just call it the way I see it. That's how I do broadcasting. It's the only way I'm going to have credibility. I couldn't stand the Winker trade. I didn't get it. I didn't. Winker is an all-star on and off the field. And this guy can hit. He's got power. He gets on base. He gets it. And being around Votto has really helped him. It really has. But he's in his prime. You can't move him. And Suarez will bounce back. I mean, he's a legit 30-homer guy. I know he's not a high-average guy. And I know it's been tough the last couple of years. But the contract isn't that bad. And to take both of them off after you lost Castellanos, I didn't understand it. And I also just didn't like the return at all. And look, I know Jake Fraley very well. He's a fourth outfielder. That's what he is, nothing more. Dunn has a great arm. He walks he walks his mother, his grandmother. He walks them. He can't throw strikes. He got a good arm. I get it, but that trade was just a bad trade. You know, the Sonny Gray trade, okay, you're rebuilding, you got a first-round pick for Gray, that's a good return. Yeah, I don't think, I didn't mind the Sonny Gray trade if you're rebuilding, but then to go back and sign Solano at 34 years old off the bench, Colin Moran, who couldn't make the Pirates, and so now, I would love to help you. I'm just saddened though, because with expanded playoffs, the Reds would have made the playoffs last year. You were that close, and I know losing Castellanos was tough, but we would have understood that financially. Keep the rest of the team together and try one more time when you're that close to the playoffs. So anyway, they should just completely rebuild and don't go in between. In between doesn't work. So you got Lodolo coming, you got Green coming, and now you got Chase Petty coming too. If I'm them,
I'm just going to keep going young. I love Jonathan India. I love Tyler Stevenson. I think you build around those two young players, and you see if you can't trade for Winger. As soon as you traded those two guys, you're looking for players just like them. Listen, it's kind of embarrassing. Nick Kral's in a bad spot. His owner comes to him and says, I need to shave money. What do you do? I mean, you got to shave. I didn't think it would be this much. 40 mil? Come on. 40 mil. That's the difference between last year and this year. A little bit more, a little bit less now that they've added these guys. But like the year before they had to shave money, they had a good team, and they go to 2020 and to 21, and they had to reduce their pen if they had the same pen from the year before. They just held Archie Bradley and kept Reitzell in places. They're in the postseason last year. So the whole thing is just absolutely frustrating. Yeah, I mean, Nick has to sit there as the GM and wear it, and he has to make the moves. And his owner's coming to him telling him he's got to reduce the payroll. They just went through a rebuild. Now we're on another rebuild? Is this rebuild 2.0 for the Reds? We just went through the rebuild. Come on. I'm down in the rooms right now, unfortunately. I'm just not seeing it at all. So, sorry, Aaron, we can't help you on that one. 866-652-6696. We'll continue with phone calls. We've got a bunch of other things to going on here, of course, going on around the league. We'll get to that when we come back.
Pat is an independent truck driver, and he owes the IRS a lot of money.
It was terrifying. I was going to have to sell my truck. They were going to take everything from us.
Good thing Pat listens to the radio.
I had been hearing the commercials, so I contacted Optima Tax Relief.
Optima stepped in and got to work on Pat's case.
The liens were taken off my bank account. My money was freed up. They were so good. They are the best in what they do.
Pat's completely mind-blowing IRS disaster taken care of by Optima Tax Relief.
Optima saved me an unbelievable amount of money. Talk about the relief.
In big trouble with the IRS? Listen to Pat.
You don't cut your own hair and you don't fight the IRS alone. I would recommend Optima. In fact, I already have.
Call Optima right now for a free consultation. Call 800-370-8283. 800-370-8283. 800-370-8283. Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your team survived the first round of the NCAA tournament. Let us tell you what's next. Get through your workday with ESPN Radio, Sirius XM 84, and our suite of Power 5 conference channels 371 to 375. Informed after the games.
The 15-seeded St. Peter's Peacocks has knocked off mighty Kentucky.
Find out where to hear Westwood One's Call of Your School at SiriusXM.com/college basketball schedule.
At Peter Millar, we're always pushing for something better. Innovation in performance apparel is our continuous pursuit. And each season,
I think we just did a big
take our designs and their function to the next level. When you're taking on the elements, versatile layers become an essential part of your everyday style. Peter Millar delivers standout performance apparel designed for warmth, comfort, and stretchability, no matter where your weekend adventures take you. This season, we've stepped up our designs, from our acclaimed Perth and Grape pullovers to our lightweight performance outerwear with wind and water-resistant protection. It makes Peter Millar the perfect gear for the changing seasons. So when you're headed to town or layering up for your next round, do it in style with Peter Millar Performance Sportswear. Trusted on tour, ready for your life. Explore the Performance Layers collection today at petermillar.com/baseball. Get free shipping, effortless returns, and receive a complimentary gift with your purchase at petermillar.com/baseball. petermillar.com/baseball.
An incredible business opportunity is coming. Are you ready to own your own business? This is the opportunity you've been waiting for. Mr. Sandless, the largest wood floor refinisher in the world, leads owners throughout the USA. Due to the housing shortage in the U.S., Mr. Sandless sales are skyrocketing, driving the demand for their unique Sandless refinishing service to record earnings, and you can get right in on this. Mr. Sandless has already refinished more than 100 million square feet of wood floors with no sanding and nothing to clean it afterwards. Brand new territories are available right now throughout the entire USA. You could be the exclusive Mr. Sandless owner right where you live. Mr. Sandless uses an exclusive wet refinishing process that delivers beautiful floors without the mess and cost of traditional sanding. A very low entry fee gets you started with profit potential that is massive. Get all the details at msfranchise.com. That's msfranchise.com. But hurry, as the best territories will go fast. MSFranchise.com. Get the financial freedom you deserve at MSFranchise.com.
Danny makes the catch and the Mariners win it.
Hi, this is Scott Service of the Seattle Mariners. And you're listening to MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM.
The Front Office with Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden.
All right, we still have time for more calls here all the way up to the end of the show at 866-652-6696. Trevor Story news, of course, from the Red Sox. That has been in play for most of the morning. We're talking about each of these signings around the league. So Castellanos, Schwarber signed in Philadelphia, Correa in Minnesota, one free agent right now. It hasn't signed yet. It's finally Conforto. Now, we saw the other day that Conforto, at least, according to Ian Martinez, SNY, turned down, about a year ago, turned down a deal in the $100 million range. Would have gone to about $120 million or so. Decided that that was not where his market would be. And listen, at the time, a year ago, I don't blame him. I think he was the guy that was going to be, for me, watching the way he had played the best, well north of even the Springer, he was $150 million. He has a down year. Now he had a lockout, and now he's sitting out there. Kind of looks like to me it's going to be a one type of deal. I don't know if you feel differently, but where is there a fit? I mean, there's a ton of teams that can use left-handed bat like
Yeah, I'll give you my fits for you. I like him in right field for the Chicago White Sox. I like him in right field for the Cleveland Guardians. Those are my two favorites.
Cleveland. I mean, every year they need outfield help, right? It seems. For sure, they need. You know who else needs a left-handed bat? Toronto. And put Gurriel in DH. Yeah. And I mean, you're upgraded defensively. That offense is ridiculous. I love Conforto with the Blue Jays. Love him with the Blue Jays. Let's see if we can get that.
And then you package Gurriel with Alejandro Kirk.
Yes.
Jordan Groshans. Yep. And you get Jose Ramirez. I heard those there in second base, and you put Conforto in left field. No, you put Teoscar in left field, you put Conforto in right field, and you put the Champagne on ice. By the way, it's a really good club. Even without those moves, but man, if you had Conforto, I'd bring him back to the Mets. Yeah. You know, I think they need him too. I've been starting to look at that offense a little closer. It's definitely up here. But I'm a Conforto guy. Like, I am not concerned at all about the last couple of years. The pandemic and last year, I'm not concerned at all. I don't need him to do a Miller deal. I'll pay him. Yeah. I'll do 5 years and 15 a year. Right now. And not even
see, I like Toronto at a Pillow deal. I don't like Cleveland as much as a Pillow deal. It's a tough part. Well, White Sox, I like teams that have the really good deep lineups where he's going to get pitched to, and if that happens, and I think he puts some big numbers. I think the Reds, if they want to bring their fans back,
You're passing a truck on the right.
That's another.
What's that?
Right?
You're passing a truck on the right.
San Diego, perfect fit.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I see the truck.
Myers is left. Right now, Padres.
Sound like
I'm going to rank White Sox 1, Padres 2. No, Toronto 3.
So I figure it must be that truck. There wasn't a camper in front of it.
Boy, it's great being a broadcaster.
Let's grab a call before the update. We've got a couple of them, so hang in there if we don't get to you. 866-652-6696. Reggie in Atlanta has a thought on the Mets. What's going on there, Reggie?
Yes, really still hurt that the Mets didn't sign Baez, but I want to find out from you guys if my hurt is justified. Do you think they should have kept him, and why they left him?
Okay, I absolutely think they should have kept him. Put him at second base. Let's go. He and Lindor up the middle for the next 6 years on him. Love Baez. Baez, every day he comes to the ballpark, he brings positive energy and enthusiasm, and he makes everybody around him have a good time. Baez brings 30 home runs, power, 180 strikeouts. It drives me crazy. He tags as well as any infielder in the big leagues. His tags are straight down. He is a good tag. plus defender wherever you put him, range to both sides, athletic, great body control. His passion gets in the way of being a player to the next level. There's more in the tank, but his passion and zealous approach to the game actually hurts him at times. He's inconsistent. I love Javier Baez. If I'm the Mets, absolutely, I would have kept Baez and Conforto. I love both of those guys on the field, in the dugout, in the clubhouse. I love the positive energy those guys bring to me. What do you think, Duke? I love Baez.
No, I think Baez. I think they're going to miss him. I think paying him and then having him to fill up the middle. And I would have tried to trade Miguel. I don't think there's a ton of value for Miguel. Not the down here, but I would have tried to move him and just gone with that group there. And yeah, your defense up the middle is as good as you're going to find. Escobar's not great at third base. He'll be okay there, but you're bringing him in for the bat. But if you went down the road of Marte and Escobar, Canna, okay, but I still feel like they're just spot for Baez too. And I feel like they're. I like their lineup, but I feel like the lineup is still a bad short. It wasn't a great lineup last year, and they needed to, I think, bring in more improvements than they have to get it to where it matches their starting rotation, which is going to be really good. There's a little bit of uncertainty with Walker if they lost him at the moment, so I would have liked to see Baez, or I would have loved to, like you mentioned, I'd love to see Conforto maybe back some, but again, I don't know. Conforto's should have plenty of options. I can see him going back on a pillow deal for the Mets. It's not a great place offensively. It'd have to be a multi-year deal. So we'll wait and see on that. Thanks for the call, Reggie. 866 MLB-NXM is the phone number. We'll get to more phone calls after the update. Stay with us.
The Red Sox have added a big bat with free agent Trevor Story on a 6-year, $140 million contract for U.S. Today's Bob Nightingale. Story had 24 home runs, drove in 75, and stole 20 bases over 142 games last season for the Rockies. Yesterday's big news was Carlos Correa, the free agent shortstop, joining the Twins on a 3-year, $105.3 million deal. One of his former teammates in Houston, like Bradley, Correa, nothing but the best.
That's probably true.
For a long time. But of course, we want great players in the team.
This thing is not cheap to
It's all about winning. But at the same time, I will repeat this. We have a lot of great players.
Did I send you the text last week?
We all know we can do to get ready.
Did I send you the picture last week when I got gas?
The Marlins have reportedly agreed to terms
I was on a quarter tank.
$3 million deal with reigning World Series
and it cost me $88.
Soler. The contract reportedly has opt-outs age for the first 2
I shot a text over Sean.
Nationals third baseman
At least it wasn't 90.
Will be out a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks to recover from a flexor mass strain in his right forearm. Cardinals pitcher Jack Flaherty told reporters that video studies showed a change in mechanics may be the cause for his recent shoulder bursitis. Flaherty has been shut down for 2 weeks following a PRP injection. Giants have signed left-handed pitcher Matthew Boyd. It's a 1-year, $5.2 million contract. It also includes $2.5 million in incentives. He's not expected to be ready until mid-season after undergoing surgery to repair a flexor tendon in his left arm back in September. Boyd had a 3.89 ERA for 12 starts for the Tigers last season. Cubs and left-handed pitcher Drew Smyly have agreed to terms in a 1-year pact reportedly for $5.25 million with additional $2.5 million in incentives. For MLB Network Radio, I'm Scott Jackson.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine, or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthy. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is at Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You're not required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief hotline now. Call 800-723-1515. 800-723-1515. That's 800-723-1515.
And this is your man of the Los Angeles Angels. Listening to MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM.
Every game of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is on Sirius XM and the SXM app. The ultimate sports moments. The bracket-busting buzzer beaters. Find the action on Sirius channels 135 through 138 and XM channels 202 through 205. Hear Westwood One's coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament on Sirius XM and the SXM app. The Front Office with Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden.
All right, we'll continue with the phone calls. Our final segment, our Who Are You segment. We take on the role of the general manager. That's coming up here at the end. It's both one of the favorites. So stay tuned. JP and I are going to be this week. You were nice. But let's go back to the phones. Thanks for holding on there through the break. 866 MLB and XM is the number. Sam in San Diego's up next. What's up, Sam? How are you?
Guys, honored to be on with you this morning.
Thanks for the call, man.
No worries. So pretty much you guys stole my thunder with the Padres trying to go after Conforto. I think that would be a perfect fit to be Myers over to left, Conforto and right, and a nice little left-handed bat to break up the right-handed heavy lineup that it is outside of Hosmer and Cronenworth. But I think there's room to happen. But I think they are kind of hamstruck with the contract. I don't think Myers needs to be moved. It's 1 year for the $20 million. Hosmer is a little bit trickier. He's got 20, then he becomes 5 and 10, and then he's pretty much 13 for the next 3 years. So that's an affordable contract, but obviously they don't see the value in it anymore.
It's a good point on Hosmer. 10 and 5 rights there, JB. Obviously, becomes the no trade. I feel like he had at least a partial no trade when he first signed with them, but I could be wrong in that. But that contract has been, unfortunately, hasn't worked out well. Myers finally got to the end of this deal. It's $20 million. Let's see, for next year. So 20 this year, 20 next year. But the AEB is a lot less, right? It's like it's 13 plus 13. That's why I thought of the two, his might be a little bit easier to move because somebody has, let's say, a higher 1 year deal, 20 left. You could take out a little bit of money, but you bring your AAV down, to 13 million plus. So it's going to save a little 7 on the CBA tax. Those are hard deals. No matter what, they're hard deals.
Hey, it's Big Brutus.
Matching up with the right fit. Conforto fits there too. Do you see them spending the extra money? Right? They were in on who else were they in? They were in the Lions, I think it was, right? And did we hear stories? No, we hear stories too. I feel like there's one other guy that they were interested in, that they were in. I thought maybe he's playing. But do they have it in them to spend a little bit more money on a floated
okay.
for Conforto?
If you want to stop.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
I think that's why you see AJ be quiet.
I think Parsons was the one I was thinking about. I think Parsons was the one I thought about going to.
That's why you want to catch a prospect to them to get the money off to allow them to go get a Conforto or Ryan kind of player. I think that was kind of the whole thing. So I don't think he did sign him without moving the other guys.
Joplin is too, but
I think that's where he kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I mean, it's getting close to lunchtime, so
it is a tough one. Those out there.
It's almost noon.
Stands now. Earlier. They are not over the tax, at least according to COTS, including 40-man. tax payable. They're 220, so about 220, you know, and 220.1, so 9.9 mil below the tax threshold. So, you know, see, it's just amazing, by the way, we're talking about the Padres. I know they're a decent size market. They're not one of the top 4 markets in the game, and they're pushing the top 4 when it comes to the pay. So pretty impressive.
This isn't bothering you,
At least it's reasonable to move
by listening to this, isn't bothering you?
somebody else.
I figure it's low enough that you can still hear
One thing we haven't talked about this during the whole show of the Colorado Rockies. When you get there by taking this next phone call, Clayton in Seattle has bought the Rockies. What's going on, Clayton? Thanks for bringing these guys up because we haven't talked about them at all.
Yeah, I just ask these guys, like, what on earth are they doing? Because I just feel like they're just spending money just to spend money to be a fourth place team. That's just me from my opinion. I would love to get your opinion on the Rockies and what exactly are they doing.
I have no idea. I thought the Bryant contract was the worst free agent contract of any that were signed. I don't understand how you gave Nolan Arenado an opt-out when he didn't ask for it. Then you were scared he was going to use the opt-out, and you paid $50 million of his contract to trade him to St. Louis. I didn't understand any of that. I still don't understand it. And Arenado said he wasn't going to opt out anyway, because he wasn't going to get that kind of money on the open market. I didn't understand that whole situation. And then I don't understand why, when they had a chance to sign Story, why they didn't. And then it was too late, and then all of a sudden they wanted him back. I didn't understand that. And then they give $180 million to Chris Bryant. And look, I like Chris Bryant a lot. And don't get me wrong, I think the first 3 years of that contract, Chris Bryant's going to put up huge numbers playing half his games at Coors Field, and it's going to be really fun to watch. But it's an untradeable contract, and it's going to end worse than Charlie Bachman's ending. I have no idea what they're doing. I don't know why they're spending money to finish in 4th place, as you mentioned. But that's what they're doing. And they're a 4th place team, maybe a 5th place team, I don't know. Their pitching's a little bit better than they get credit for, but playing half your games at Coors, no pitching's going to work at Coors. So I don't know. I'm going to let Jim Duquette I'm going to let Jim Duquette describe to both of us what we're missing. Jim?
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks for turning that over. Clayton, thank you for the call. I crushed the Rockies the other day because they seem to be rudderless in some ways. And I think Bill Smith still getting his legs under him when it comes to being the GM there, scouting director. We know he's been a good scouting director over his career, right? He's been running the draft for the Rockies since I think 2001. So he's been doing this a long time. This is his first time as a general manager there. And I think if you take a look at this group, I mean, adding Bryant certainly helps their offense, but they have so many pieces that are missing. It just has you scratching your head.
Well,
like,
okay, why are you
adding Bryant without any other pieces? That's the hard part about it, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And even going back to last year when they didn't trade Story at the deadline, they didn't trade John Gray at the deadline, they didn't offer him a qualifying offer. And so, like, there's just little things like that. I think that, they were afraid Gray would take the 1-year qualifying offer. Okay, maybe he would have. I don't think he would have. And you get a draft pick instead. Or like all those things, like you have to figure out the direction here and make some decisions. And not doing that, in my mind, hurts your club in the long term. And so I think that part of it kind of stands out. I don't like their bullpen. They had a column maybe the other day. He's fine, but I mean it's hard to build a pen there, as we've seen.
Cherokee.
Their starting rotation is Cherokee. I mean, it's not bad really. Marquez, Freeland, Sensi Telecom, they all pitch up to the capabilities. But it is, like JB mentioned, hard to figure out. Sometimes, in that ballpark, it's hard to pitch there. I think Gomber actually had a really good year in Coors last year. Pitched way better than I thought. Still ended up his projections for this year.
I saw it earlier, but I wasn't know.
Projections are he's going to have over 5 year right now. We'll see if that matches up or not. But I like what I saw out of Gomber and a little bit that I saw him last year. So maybe that will be better this year. But I think that's they're fighting it out with the Diamondbacks for the 4th and 5th spot in that division. know, and so why spend that kind of money? Just didn't make an awful lot of sense to me either. 866-652-6696. Let's go back to the phones. Mike in Maryland wants to give us his thoughts on Conforto. What's going on, Mike? How you doing?
Hi, doing great, Jim. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, so I'm wondering if I don't really like the Mets outfield that much. I don't think Mark Canha is a replacement for Michael Conforto, so I'm wondering if there is a chance at all of them resigning Conforto. And the second question is about the Mets bullpen. Really don't like Edwin Diaz as closer. It was ticked off that the Braves signed Kenley Jansen for a one-year contract with, I think that's the place the Mets should have gone. So just wondering what's your opinion? What do you think Mets are going to do with the bullpen? Are they going to wait till the trade deadline and improve it there? Or is that too late? The Braves are pretty much stacked in that bullpen. Could get a big lead on them.
Yep, appreciate the call and good questions on that. Well, let's take their bullpen first. You know, Diaz, you know, has had an up and down season, but I mean, he's been more than fine as the closer. Well, he had some hiccups there early on. That's what people continue to remember. But I feel like he's pitched well enough that you shouldn't need to be sweating it out quite as much as what Mets fans do. But I get it. I get Diaz. There aren't many lockdown unless they have like Hader or Kenley Jansen. I don't think Mets fans are going to be happy with whoever they have closing out games. But May, I think, is going to have a better year. He was good, not great. Ottavino, we'll see. He's a guy that you can really use against righties. Lugol's been very good for them. Castro. I mean, it's a deeper pen. I don't think it's as much quality as the Braves, but it's a deep pen for me. I would like to see one more piece. And we kind of talked about this earlier. Conforto, while he's a good fit anywhere, I just don't see him coming back there on a one-year deal. It doesn't sound like they're interested in giving him a multi-year deal.
Yeah, I would bring Conforto back for sure if you're asking me. Put him in right field and then in right field and let Miller and Canha share in left field. Diaz was good last year. He was. Strikeouts in 67 innings, saved 33 games, ERA under 3. I mean, that's what closers do. I mean, he's a good closer. I know he's inconsistent. Any closer you have is going to drive fame. He's crazy because nobody's perfect. There's no Mariano Rivera or Trevor Hoffman right now. I like the bullpen, but here's the thing. You just went through Trevor May, Adam Ottavino, Seth Lowe, Castro, and you can add, Drew Smith to that list too. When I look at all those guys, they're all 3 ERA guys for me. Yeah. Like that, that's a problem. And it's a problem for me because of what the Braves bullpen looks like. Like the Braves have 5 guys I can see with ERAs with 2 or below, 2s or below. Where the Mets, outside of Diaz, are all going to be around 3.8 ERA guys. And I think the Braves are going to be able to win that division again over the Mets because of that.
Yeah, I like the Braves pick a lot. It's a really good pick. And again, Mets is good. It's not the Braves level. And we'll get into it later in the spring once we get a chance to look at it where the Mets bullpen stacks up. But I feel like they need another guy. They lost Familia. They lost Aaron Luke. Aaron Luke had a career year. He was unbelievable for them last year. So you lose him. Really didn't pick up a lefty of significance, and Familia had a decent year for them in that center role, and I think Ottavino could maybe do what Familia did, but it's not quite the same as the Braves for sure. So appreciate the call there, Mike. Again, Conforto I think is going to have better options on a short-term deal. I don't see them going down the long-term deal. We were just talking earlier before you called about their offense. A little concerned. Their offense was bottom 5, bottom 6 most of the year. I don't know. Where would you put their lineup now?
Pittsburgh.
Middle of the pack at best in Major League Baseball? JB, what do you think with the Mets for offense at best?
I would say they're in
He's taking us to Joplin, right?
Yeah,
sure.
That's it. That's it.
Taking us east.
That's
at best.
And that's assuming Lindor bounces back. And that's assuming Alonso is the 35 to 40 home run first baseman he is. And that's assuming that I think Dominic Smith is going to have a bounce back
no
year.
idea
And
there's
that's
any
assuming
casinos
that
out
Starling Marte can continue to do what he's done the last couple of years.
Right.
They're right in the middle. I don't love their corner outfielders offensively.
Right.
I know I like Escobar's home run power,
coalition.
but this is not a high average kind of third baseman. We got some inconsistencies at second base. He gets on. I don't know if Cano is going to be able to bounce back. And, McCann behind the plate is McCann behind the plate. Right. It's not a special offensive team. Phillies have much better offense than the Mets do.
They really do. They really do.
But the Mets, if the Mets get in, they walk into a postseason with DeGrom, Scherzer, and Bassett and can run the table just like Milwaukee can do it with Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta. That's the one thing. When you have 3 number 1 starters in Milwaukee and 2 number 1 starters in the Mets, you can run the table if you get to the show. Just get to the playoffs and you can run the table. And I see the Mets as the wild card. I see the Mets at second, Phillies at third. I don't like the Phillies defense. The Phillies defense is a big factor, but the Mets don't have a great offense and they don't have a great bullpen.
Oh, mine in Kansas.
We're up against
Mets fans are going to be disappointed because a lot of them think they're going to the World
Texas
Series.
Hippie Coalition is a heavy metal band.
Well, and
Denison,
I think
Texas.
these two on the offensive front.
What are you talking
I
about?
bet no.
The
We'll see
casino
either one of us takes on the
right
role
now
of
playing
after
at
our argue segment.
Texas
At
is
Peter Millar, we're devoted to elevating your casual, everyday apparel. We set out to craft the
Texas
versatile
Hippie
lineup
Coalition.
that'll see you through the season in
It's
style. Our best-selling
it's a
essentials
heavy
capture
metal
laid-back
band from
sophistication
Denison,
in seasonal designs, colors,
Oh, is
and
it?
fabrics with the precision craftsmanship you expect from Peter Millar. Welcome the changing of the seasons with Peter Millar.
I got the
From
feeling
our
his
performance
name will be-
hoodies and transitional layers to casual pieces inspired by life on the coast, Peter Millar's spring lineup provides an effortless approach to sharp style. We fine-tune apparel across our collections for lived-in luxury and ultimate performance. Whether it's weekends on the boat, Sunday tea times, or weekdays in the city, Peter Millar's spring line gives you incredible comfort, style, and ultimate versatility. Fill your world with craft at Peter
I thought
Millar.
maybe there were 60s
Explore
music.
Peter Millar's entire collection
Heavy metal,
today at
man.
petermillar.com/baseball. Get free shipping, effortless returns, or receive a complimentary gift with your purchase at petermillar.com/baseball. petermillar.com/baseball.
Join Sirius XM and Net Opera Radio for a concert for Ukraine. A performance supporting and offering solidarity with the citizens of Ukraine. Broadcast live from the Met stage, featuring star soloists and the Met Opera Orchestra and Chorus. It's a consoling, inspiring
Get warm back here.
a concert for Ukraine. Now, on Met Opera Radio, Channel 355, or listen anytime and anywhere on the SXFM.
Shopping for new car insurance can feel impossible. No easy solutions, just headaches. But Experian just cracked the code on shopping for car insurance. Experian compares your current policy to quotes for comparable insurance from over 40 top insurers, all in just a few minutes. No filling out the same information over and over. People on average save $961 per year when switching their car insurance through Experian.
No, I think
It's
we got the
free.
light.
Check out Experian.com/car.
Yeah, because it was red and now it's green.
Hi, I'm John Oster, Chairman of Creek Carrier, Schaefer Trucking and Transportation.
Dad's sun
Just to
visor's
let
in the
you
way,
know,
I
we've
couldn't see the
increased
green
the
one.
speed of our trucks to 68 miles per hour and
Oh,
raised driver pay for
poopy's
the
in the
third
way.
time in the past 12 months.
What's
We
in the
also
way?
have new fleets offering a
No,
variety of
poopy's in the
home-time
way.
options.
Yeah, it's
Great
kind of on
miles,
your
best
side, not
rate,
mine.
that's Creek Carrier. Average pay for the top 50% of our over-the-road drivers is nearly $2,000 a week. We want safe and reliable drivers to join us. Go to creekcarrier.com to find just the right job for you. This is Derek Bell, manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. You're listening to MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM.
We now return to the front office with Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden.
All right, our Who Are You segment, we take on the role of the current general manager. Make a recommendation for the week. Now that we're talking about any of this lockout garbage, we can actually get back into this, which we did last week. All right, we can be this week, but which to get.
I'm going to be Rick Hahn of the Chicago White Sox, and I am going to sign Michael Conforto to a 5-year deal at $15 million. He's going to play right field. I want to get a left-handed bat in the lineup that is 2 right-handed. You know, they've got the same problem Toronto and some other teams have. They need a right fielder. Look, I love Andrew Vaughn. I think he's going to hit. I know last year he didn't. I think he is, but I don't love him in right field, although he's adequate. But I think Michael Conforto is a nice fit for a lot of reasons for Chicago in right field. Let Andrew Vaughn and Gavin Sheets share the DH spot with Abreu at first base. And that's it. That's it. I think that's the last piece they need. Look, I got the White Sox winning the division by 10 games and they do nothing. But I think when you get to the playoffs, I think Conforto would be a difference maker. And, I could have sat there and been Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins and done the same thing. I could have sat there and been the GM of the Padres, CJ Preller, and I think the same thing. I could be the GM of the Mets and I'd have made the same thing.
Yeah.
Conforto is a really
Crom
good
has
player
a
who's coming off
pit
a
bull, or
bad
not
year,
pit
and I
bull,
would not,
bulldog.
I would not change the value of the player based
His
on
car is
what
in the
he's
shop,
doing.
or his home is in the shop.
Conforto, I think he's a good player.
Because the dashboard, all of the dashboard won't work anymore.
Ross Atkins of the Blue Jays.
He was having trouble with his Aaron E. So they came down the lobby so he could take you for a walk. As soon as he got into the lobby, he started barking. He was barking. Across the street, they're doing some construction. He was barking at one of those big, I don't know, crane-looking things. Like crazy.
Welcome to Missouri.
Yep.
We are in Missouri now?
We're in Missouri.
Yeah. Win the World Series.
Huh. Don't look no different.
All right, I'll do it. Let's get it done. That is it for us. You get to say goodbye. It's so much easier being a GM on the radio, isn't it? GM, shower, chillax, everybody.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping via your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free. And you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole in one without even trying. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Continue to the network of Barry.
Garth Brooks chooses every song on the Garth Channel. Pop, rock, R&B, and country. But sometimes he forgets who's boss.
Garth Brooks here. It's funny, I was driving yesterday with my wife and like 5 songs in a row played. They were like my 5 favorite songs. I'm like, dang, that's cool. She goes, honey, you programmed the channel.
Check out Channel 55. Channel 55, the Garth Channel, only on Sirius XM or outside the car with the SXM app.
Okay.
I love the Garth Channel.
There's a lot of people out there with their cars.
Consistency. It's time
Dragway. Drag races.
Impact Snap Release Trainer. I'm Marty Nowicki, award-winning instructor, talking about Impact Snap Release Trainer. Tired of thin shots, fat shots slicing? Need more power? You need the Impact Snap Release Trainer. Visit ImpactSnap.com.
Admission fee, of course.
XM10. Get the results.
And they have admission fee.
ImpactSnap.com. Make the change today.
Oh.
All through March, MLB
Oh.
is getting you ready for the 2022 Major League Baseball season.
Get out of that long ass line of cars.
At least, yeah, that's a little bit. I wasn't anticipating you having to turn this way though.
I'm just following the map.
What it says, I guess. Even if it's wrong.
Damn right.
Why do I work at Paul Davis? I love solving problems, working with my hands. But what I really care about is
You know what it's doing?
Visit
Taking you 70.
pauldavis.com/career.
Okay. 70's that way.
It's taking us 22 miles.
You already go to Chanute?
It's going to have us turn right on 80.
Yeah, that's Kansas.
It's going to have us turn where?
Right on Kansas at 22 miles. Right on 80, 22 miles.
Yeah. It's not the best road.
Kroger, Great Clips, Havercraft Distillery,
And don't forget, we're in Missouri now.
I know we're in Missouri. But you would think right over the Missouri border, I would find it.
Music has always been my church. What I turn to.
Yeah, that's
Unity, confidence, and now
wasn't the best choice.
I'm sorry.
No, that's not your fault.
You're only going to go, what, how far on this? 20 miles?
Yeah.
My Church Radio on the SXM app right now.
Yeah, because Missouri map because for some reason.
Oh, you're looking at the paper map.
With the call from the Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers broadcast booth. The following is a presentation of Odyssey, presented by the official Unsolved Mysteries podcast with never heard before mysteries on the Odyssey app and wherever you listen to podcasts.
This highway, this stretch of road.
I'll tell you in a second if I get to it.
Gorgeous spring day in Tampa. Always a great time when you play the
43 is ahead of us. We're on. I can't quite read it yet.
Your school will be feeling it today. Better believe it might be exhibition baseball, but
We'll be crossing 43.
So we're on Highway M?
Yes.
No problem. We're getting ready for exhibition baseball. Tigers and New York Yankees at George Steinbrenner Field. It's their home opener. They actually introduced the
It's funny, I don't see M. I see H, I see E, I see C, I see B.
Going the wrong way.
B and R, but where's M?
Severino on the mound for New York, and again, Turk Skubal will go for the Tigers. They're pushing these young pitchers early January. We saw Eduardo Rodriguez go
Well,
three.
something tells me this isn't a new highway.
But if all goes well, Turk Skubal will go three to the absolutely. They got to push. There's no question about it. We talked about pushing the hitters.
Hey, look, our first wind farm.
Got to get the innings in. Tigers and
By the way.
Yankees stay with us. First pitch coming up.
It's okay to be stressed, but it's also okay to realize that sometimes what
Stay on
just
Baseline
stress might be something more. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan,
That's where we're at. We're on Baseline Boulevard.
ready. With access to support for physical and mental health, wherever and whenever you need it.
Roach is not on the map.
Of your own home. We're here for it all. And always
Get a new map.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan.
Isn't that what he says in
Every card.
Isn't that what he says in what movie is that? Oh, it's Tommy Boy.
Because we are family.
Is it reference to a map in Tommy Boy?
Yeah, the movie Tommy Boy.
I don't remember.
With Chris Farley and
I mean, I remember the.
and he's in the gas station asking for directions. And the gas station guy tells him to get a new map because the town he's looking for is in a different state. And that's why it's not on his map.
Just make life better. Like baseball season and
This I just don't remember.
on a certified pre-owned Lincoln from Varsity. At Varsity Lincoln in
I mean, I only see pictures
every
of
certified pre-owned Lincoln comes with
Tommy
a
Boy.
complimentary
Tommy Boy, yeah.
100,000-mile warranty.
The thing I remember from Tommy Boy is his dad owns that
Auto parts
auto
manufacturer.
store. And it's been in every movie that Adam Sandler's been in.
For over 50 years,
Callahan Auto.
has helped families make memories. Now it's your turn. Let our experts find you the perfect motorhome, fifth wheel, or travel trailer. You will save thousands with our low prices and exclusive offers. From sales and financing to parts and service, our friendly staff can help with all your
God, this thing is rough.
Right?
family to get to travel and start
I feel like I'm being
making
tossed
memories.
about.
Your adventure begins at
Like a little rubber ball.
It's like we're on a boat.
Huh?
It's like we're on a boat.
Yeah, actually, that's more like it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, rough seas ahead. I'll let you odds are taking us to 4th and nothing to.
George Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, so glad to have you along.
Okay.
Baseball, Tigers at New York.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, it's
Severino on the mound for New York, coming back
Sorry.
from John surgery. Jim
We
came
can
back
reroute.
last year, limited innings, but the stuff is still there for Luis Severino. First pitch of the game to Robbie Grossman, high and away, and we are underway.
If he was going to turn in any direction, I would have said left.
Exhibition baseball, Tigers
I mean, right,
and
not
Yankees.
left.
Went through 95 last year, and that breaking turn you talked about also has a
You're
slider.
headed north now, right?
Nope,
That's
I'm headed
one,
east.
but also a short sample, but it tells you that he still has the stuff. They're going to be relying on him a lot now. Came back and just did 6
I can't read the map because
last year, but don't forget
those
how
highways.
good this guy was his last full season. And that's going back now to 2018, so 2019,
Well, 17 more miles.
2021, wiped out by injury, Tommy John surgery, came back, and again, as Jim said,
60.
flashed the good stuff.
unless we're going to be
His
turning
return
on
in terms of velocity,
160,
the movement on his pitches.
that's still
I think
taking us to
just
49, which is
right.
not 44.
And I think it's going to be, he has to be one of the main guys in the rotation. And I think it's asking a lot after pitching just 6 innings, 3 years. But yeah, that's keeping
But I'm not sure. I gotta.
tabs on him.
log a whole bunch of innings this year. This is high and away, and on 4 pitches, he walks Robbie Grossman. So let's set the Tigers offense for you. We usually go through these lineups pretty quickly in these spring training exhibition games, because believe me, within a couple of innings, it's all going to look very different. We got to work at Grossman, Perdue, and Baez in the top 3 spots. Candelario,
that's the way I was planning on going, yeah.
Barnhart, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, cool.
Castro,
15
Only
miles.
15 miles, awesome. Cool
7, 8, 9. That's Fairmont Castro. In the number 7 spot.
Because Joplin, go across on 44, Springfield, that's where all those antiques are.
Better chance of it, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have a better highway because it's 4 lanes.
Right, this is a better highway.
To start the year.
And I go 65 again.
More exciting players that we've seen in recent years.
There's Joplin.
Get better and better, but Grossman would do Grossman in that 1-2 spot against the righty. Expect to see that a lot this year. He takes a strike every quick toss.
Well, now we're on 43.
So,
Heading south.
Which is kind of strange because
Heading south.
43
I do too. I'll tell you, Mr. Excitement kind of sets the stage.
does go north and south,
And for the game, Robbie Grossman, career high 20 steals.
it's just odd.
We're on the south part.
You're on the south part.
We're on the south part, 43.
Passing a creek.
Oh, is that the creek?
There's a creek. I could tell that from my Google Maps.
Right?
You didn't know that, did you? There's a creek there.
Well, it's on my Google Maps too.
That's true. That's true.
That big road, they want us to turn on that big road.
And it's still trying to get us to go down to 80.
Called third strike. Wow, Jerry Lane didn't give us
Because if you just stayed on that route, you would intersect
but it looked like a nasty late breaking slider. Now the
takes you to Kansas City.
Called third strike. 1 out, 1 on.
Well, it would have turned us south again. It was going to turn us south on 80.
Excitement because this exciting player offensive.
You were going to have us turn south on 80?
Yeah.
Power and home plate is sensational. Trying to give Tiger fans a feel for just how a popular assignment this was in the clubhouse, because
But then I saw the sign that said Joplin, and I thought, well, let's take this way instead.
Everybody expected maybe it was going to be
It's only 15 minutes,
Certainly there are
Right.
reasons for that. Sure.
We got time to kill.
But
There is a couch in the middle of that.
and apparently they did make an offer.
In the creek?
Yeah.
Really?
There's a couch in the middle of that creek.
You got better GPS than I do, because I get surveys.
Well, the couch?
Yeah.
Right? Mine's a little more up to date.
Oh.
Now, second goes Robbie Grossman. It showed the Tigers they were serious about moving out their 77 I like the moves that they made, and they had a little purse strings.
Well, it's not going to have to turn on 80 anymore.
But to
I
get
know, but I was looking at the paper map to see if 80
basically
was on here. I don't see 80.
different fastball up and in.
This is a better
One of the
road.
more exciting players in
We're going to go through Joplin anyway to get
plays
44.
he can make, the creativity, some of the defensive moves that he makes. I know he can get he'll get his long.
Now we're going southwest.
There will be streakiness, there's no doubt about it. Pitch low and away, but Jim, first and
Yeah, you're
foremost,
coming to the north side
every
of
move
Joplin.
this winter was about getting better, pitching and distance.
That's probably Main Street in Joplin, and just go all the way across that main drive.
Starting with Barnhart, and you have Scoop playing every day at second base.
Unless you're hungry.
Not sure. Just go watching for your antique stores or
That's
something
strong.
to eat or some gasoline or whatever it is. Is in need of it.
Oh, watch for food before we get to 44 if you want to.
That standpoint, so you can talk about pitching, you can talk about hitting, but defense really sets the stage. Baez is the DH today. Obviously, we've been playing quite a bit of shortstop, but again, they're just trying to manage workloads for all these guys early. Line drive, right center, and that one's going to head up the gap. Fielded by Inciarte to center fielder, running first, heading to second is Baez. The throw not in time. Robbie Grossman scores standing up, and the Tigers take a 1-0 lead on the RBI double from Javi Baez here in the first.
Well, we know he's demonstrating some ambitious way to not try to pull it. But that's a good first base hit for him. He's in the strength to show. I remember reading a story that Mickey said, I'm going to teach him how to hit singles. Well, I don't think you can do that with him, but maybe you can cut down the swing a little bit with 2 strikes on him. It looks like he did that at that time. Good swing.
And he jumped on 3-0 and drove it up the gap at right center. I think Jim, he's taking the right approach. Yes, Comerica Park has deep distances in left center and right center, but he also knows the gaps are big. He's a guy who likes to drive balls to gas. Tremendous power. No question. People will go fishing. Brings up Chamber Candelario. 1-0 early. Tigers lead. First pitch to Chamber looked like a slider in under the hands. Spencer Torkelson waiting on deck. Tigers lost to the Pirates yesterday 6-3 after a 6-6 tie-in. The opener at Joplin March Stadium in Lakeland. Back home tomorrow. We'll be up here again at 1 o'clock. Chamber takes a strike on the inside corner.
When you look at this picture, Dan, when he follows through, the stuff is good. It looks like he's got a short arm involved. Again, we talked about not a lot of seasoning to come into this spring training, not much last year, but they're counting on it big time.
The 1-1, swinging a soft ground ball to first, charging, waiting for it, fielding it, and then stepping on the bag, Anthony Rizzo.
I had a dream.
Goes Baez. Anthony Rizzo, one of the moves that the Yankees made in the offseason, re-signing him after trading.
Not a drill, not a drill.
2-year, $32 million deal.
I can see no clouds out here.
I think maybe, I don't know necessarily those in the Yankees organization, but many Yankee fans surprised that the Yankees never appeared to get serious about signing any of the big class of star shortstops. This is when they were not very happy. Spencer Torkelson takes a strike, breaking ball low and away. All eyes on Spencer Torkelson. You're going to lock in on these at-bats because can't wait to see what this guy does. A good spring, and he's on this opening day roster, swinging a foul out of play. The swing already looks different and better than last spring when he, well, let's face it, he just looked a little bit lost.
Well, he's ready to go. I mean, he learned a lot last spring, there's no question about it. But him and Green together, I'll tell you, a lot to like about these two young men, and we'll see what he can do in the spring. That's very important for him.
Upright, relaxed stance, the 0-2, swinging a foul out of play, break the ball away, just flicked his bat in and fouled it down the first baseline. He's slightly bent, slightly open stance, hands are tight by the right shoulder. As he cocks the bat over with that left shoulder tucked in, it's a compact stroke. That bat gets to the zone in a hurry. It stays to the zone, doesn't it?
It does, man. Yeah, it doesn't pull off the ball. Easy power.
The 0-2, swing a line drive down the right field line. That's headed to the corner. That is fair ball. One hop up against the wall. Torkelson stumbled around first, so he will save. I think he might have been held in anyway
big
because he
thing
smoked
that he
that
said
ball
on
to
here.
the wall. Baez scores, and the Tigers take a 2-0 lead on an 0-2
It's for tomorrow,
pitch.
not today.
Really nice piece of hitting for Spencer Torkelson, his second double.
It's not supposed to snow,
in as many games.
Smart hit. He looked like a high breaking ball away, did not try to pull the ball, just drilled it in the right field. That's what you like about him. I mean, we talked about easy power, hitting home runs, but still to hit the ball in all fields with power, that's a tremendous asset.
Jeez, Jim, that ball got to the wall.
It made it look short, didn't it?
I mean, he just drilled one hop up against the wall. And because remember, these dimensions mirror Yankee Stadium. Tucker Barnhart follows you back to the screen. It's a whole lot different when that wall is 314 down the line. Even without the stumble, I don't think he's going for second base.
No, ball's hit too hard. Where's jumps off that bat?
American Park 335. Most ballparks 330, 340. Then that extra 20 feet allowed him to go. Good to see the good swings from Spencer Torkelson early. This is going to be really something to watch. Green and Torkelson. That minicamp, Jim, I think helped them so much to be ready for these exhibition games.
I think the taste is being around the players also means a lot for these two youngsters. So hanging out with Mickey, it's big time.
AJ infused at all those things. Swing and miss. He was not allowed to interact with players in the minicamp, but he could watch and observe.
Right.
And believe me, he doesn't miss a thing. And we've watched on these guys. The veterans weren't there yet, but how he interacted with everybody, how they carried themselves and handled themselves. But then the same thing once the veterans report.
Mama fish on the previous one.
And he talks to us all the time. Tucker Barnhart batting lefty against the righty, swinging a slicing drive to left field. Going back is Joey Gallo toward the line. Nice running catch before he disappears from our view in the left field corner. Lots of good swings in the first inning. Tigers scored 2 on doubles from Baez and Torkelson. At the bottom of the first inning at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. 2-0 Tigers. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball.
Christopher Russo here, and it's time to bring you another edition of my award-winning podcast series, Digging Up the Past. We look back at the history of the NCAA tournament, focusing on the period from 1979 through 1989. Bird vs. Magic, the rise of the Big East. It's all in there as we talk to the most prominent figures of the era, including Coach K and Jim Boeheim. It's Digging Up the Past, history of the NCAA tournament with me, Christopher Russo. Episodes 1 and 2 are now available on the SXM app. Just search Digging.
I'm on if you're like me, you love baseball. You love talking baseball with your friends, and your partner on the radio is the former general manager. That's Mr. Jim Wichita. Join me and Mike weekdays at 10 Eastern for Power on MLB Network.
Just looking at your map.
Baseball, and more baseball. 100% in-depth baseball talk. We spent an entire week.
Yeah, I'm not really following it right now.
It's 95%.
I'm not really following it right now.
On Power Hour weekdays.
Because it's trying to get us to turn about 4 times, 5 times.
Has it really?
And I keep ignoring it.
It's not going to Joplin.
Right.
Well, it is now because I'm forcing it to go to Joplin.
Well, you're not forcing it.
It has. Joplin's right here. This is the edge of Joplin.
No.
Well, I guess maybe not. What is this little town? Because this looks like that edge of town that we were on.
We'll take all that into
Because we've been all over Joplin.
Having talks about that.
Walmart.
To the 2020 NFL Draft continues.
There's some assholes up here who don't know how to use a roundabout.
Web City.
Oh, really?
Hey, baseball
We're in
fans,
Web
it's
City?
just in
Yeah.
Germany. The NBA postseason's just a few weeks away. And you
Airport
can hear
Drive.
non-stop talk at every playoff game, every night on
What's
NBA
that?
radio.
Airport.
Channel 6.
I think we're coming up on Airport Drive.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I just kind of figured it was taking us in because this roundabout is taking us down the other main part of town, which is 66, old 66.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's exactly on the side, but I'm pretty sure this is the
Joplin.
road we went to when we went down the road
Yes.
to 66.
Joplin is actually
doubles from Baez
straight
and
ahead.
in the first.
Yep.
Now the Yankees get ready to
I'm
face
sorry.
25-year-old
I'm
native
telling you the
in
obvious.
California.
Because I didn't have the right answer when I started talking.
They
Arizona.
don't know how to
Tarek
drive.
Skubal.
What's the deal?
What I like about this young
They never
man,
heard
Brad talked
roundabouts
about him a
before.
lot.
Wonder if they're
First
stopping.
pitch
This is
to
a
the
full
leadoff
way.
man, Anthony Rizzo has fouled out a play, lefty on lefty matchup.
maybe
Strike
there are a lot
one.
of cars
4-pitch
coming
mix.
through here.
Outstanding.
No, I do
fastball
seem to
with light,
recognize this.
a breaking
Yes.
ball. You know, the cutter or slider, whatever you want to call it, and also the changeup. Remember, he tried the split finger, which I thought was ridiculous. Went back to the regular changeup, and he pitched a lot better. Rizzo swings and fouls another fastball out of play. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. But he will go after the hitters. He learned a lot last
Remember,
year.
he when it was his turn.
Casey Mize to set the stage.
We can't believe he did that.
Youngsters, led by Rodriguez, of
They
course.
told you to
New
turn the
left-hander.
other way, didn't they?
Yep.
Swinging another foul as he powers him with a fastball. It was really, I mean, that's really striking
Just gonna
about
go up
last
one
year.
more
Jim,
after the
that 3 rookie pitchers were leading this
Joplin's
rotation
actually
in
fairly
September.
large.
Yeah, and as we watched A.J. Hinch, Chris Vedder, and Juan Nieves work with these kids, you realize what a process it
Zorro,
was.
this sounds like something I
Mentally too, to get them to be major league starters. But what a job they did with all 3 of them. Pop up to the left side of the infield. The Tigers are shifted. Jim
Black and Arctic Fireworks.
Thessalonian fielder on the left side. He's at third base today.
Pretty open to Black Market.
Errol Castro at second. Spencer Torkelson at first. The outfield
They're
is
not intending to open it all today.
center. Robbie Bozeman in right. But Jim, the way they
Probably a
handled
Sunday
both,
thing.
especially Skubal and
It's not
Mize,
open.
to get Mize 30 starts
Probably
and
not
150
Sunday.
innings with those
A lot of them big
starts
fireworks
down the
places
stretch
are open
because they
year
wanna
round.
Shut them down. They want to know what it was like to pitch
Sundays
at the
are
end
out
of
of-
September into October. Same with Tarek Skubal. 29 starts, 31 games total, and 1 inning less than Casey Mize, 149 innings. But those were significant steps for both of them in their rookie seasons. Strike 1 to Aaron Judge, swing and a miss. Little tap foul at home plate. Looked like, well, A.J. Hinch wanted to see his changeup today.
Girl in front of us.
And there it was. There it was. He said, and that was the other strange thing about the offseason. The pitchers couldn't talk to their pitching coaches.
Crazy Debbie fireworks.
He'd be working on his changeup. Normally there'd be that back and forth. Hey, I
Ah,
tried this one today.
you're on
Hey, let's do
the
it.
Missouri
Let's
side,
do
and at
it.
one
Whatever it
point
might
you couldn't
be.
get stuff in
They
Kansas.
couldn't have those
Yeah.
conversations for about 4 to 3 months.
I'm not too
And
sure
that's why
what it
A.J.
is
Hinch
now.
said, well, everything looking great in the bullpen. This fastball up. But they just didn't know, you know, until they get in the game. They're
Yeah,
not sure about
Web
the
City.
game. That is going to be for A.J. Hinch, I think,
Zorro.
one of the big things for.
Yes, now Zora.
Tarek Scoop swing and miss. Fastball 97, down and away to get Aaron Judge. How about that combination? He cuts out fastball. He was tardy.
You know, we talk about pitchers being ahead of the hitters, but I don't care what part of the season that
Yeah,
was.
now
How many folks are going to catch up with that one? That was a dandy. But I love his motion. I love his
I
leg
don't know where my
drive.
phone wants us to be.
I like the way he uses his body and his legs together, and that good extension. When he
But I'm
releases
still
the ball,
actively ignoring
he's
it.
a lot closer to home plate.
Yeah.
Fixing to join 43,
So brings
I
up
think.
Joey Gallo.
Or we were on it. I don't know. We're doing fine because looking at my map, this goes right through Joplin. And I think actually joins the highway window.
Swing and miss. We don't have a monitor, but we're
I
right
think
behind
so,
home plate. That was
trick is we got it.
looking slider
We're
down
getting to
and
the point
away
of
at
watching for.
87. Wow.
Well, like I said, what you look for
Well,
is
we crossed 44.
release point, how he uses his legs. Does he try to
Generally,
overthrow?
interstates are pretty hard to miss.
And we've got the 4 outfield alignment against Joey Gallo like we saw last year in a Texas uniform. Another slider for a strike.
We're about halfway to 44 when you see a big Joplin on the
More
highway.
than he normally does.
This is Joplin.
We went through Web City and
Yeah,
see
he was
where I
really
thought we
dynamite
were
with
going
Texas.
to
He was the one-man wrecking crew
Looking
down
on the
in
map,
Texas.
it's like you
Just
can't
that-
tell the north part of town.
Let's
Slider
hit
against the
44.
Tigers and then traded to the Yankees.
She
at
grows
160.
Or if you wanted to, you could always
Better than
turn.
that, you're going to live with a swing and miss and a low batting average, but he's made himself into a very
Business
productive hitter
44.
even with the
I
low
chose
batting
to.
average.
But that's either
He
way.
has what you call
Business 44 if
power
you
as
turn
anybody. Oh,
if you
my
turn
goodness. I mean,
on
when he
it,
connects, watch out.
it will be a direct line,
The 1-2.
and 44 comes from the
Fastball
south,
up.
comes up, and then goes
You know, I
over.
forced that a little
And
bit.
business 44 might have a better
Set up
chance
his rhythm
of.
a little, didn't follow through.
No, I'm looking for antique places.
Ball was high.
Business 44 might have a better chance of passing an antique
He
place.
says this is a guy who's going to, I mean, this is a guy who's going to pitch off his fastball. He will be,
Well,
as a result
on
of
the,
home
you
run
know, where we
throwing,
stayed
that's
in
what it will be so important for him. Fastball got him on the inside
Jury
corner.
Inn.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought
It's
there
an
was,
easy 96,
and that may be
97
business
right now
43,
for
I don't
Tarek
know.
Skubal.
And then
Joey
Texas.
Gallo throws it
but
by
I
the
think there's
2-2
some along here
fastball.
too.
Go to the second inning in Tampa, Florida. 2-0
Going down the
Tigers
middle
after
of
one on the
town.
Detroit Tigers Radio Network.
Yeah. Which is okay, I think. If we're browsing and looking, that's what this is about.
Building our businesses, communities, and future.
Derek says, I don't know about that because Dad, you're not driving.
Locations we're committed to Michigan, donating over $3.2 million and funding nearly $230 million in community development loans. To learn more, visit comerica.com/committed. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender. Figures based on 2020 data.
We know what you love. You love baseball. You love the Detroit Tigers. You love spending a day at Comerica Park. We also know what you don't love, standing in line.
No,
So
we've
we
been down
made a
there for a while.
VIP entrance, so you can do more of the things you love and less of the things you don't. All you have to do is bank with Comerica. With your Comerica bank card, you'll feel like a VIP the moment you walk in, just like you do in our bank. Learn more at comerica.com/yourpark. Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations. Member FDIC.
PointsBet is your home for live in-game betting. Get more live
Yeah, I remember-
more
I
live
remember
bet
that
types, more live
was it?
cash outs, more live
I
same-game
can't remember if it was
parlays
in
than
this
ever
one or the
before.
other one where
It's
there
time
was
to
a
elevate your live
antique
betting
mall in
game
the
with
corner.
PointsBet. PointsBet is proud to be an
We
official
decided
partner of
not
the
to stop
Detroit
because it wasn't
Tigers.
open that
Download
day.
the
It
app
was
today
open
and
Tuesday
sign
or
up with
something.
code
No.
Tigers to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Once the
remember what day
game
of the week it
starts,
was.
don't just bet, live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
What makes Detroit Mercy so unique is the fact that it's in the middle of Detroit. You really get a chance to be a part of the community.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
Shit.
Nothing Tigers at the top of the second inning. First inning today was brought to you by Rocket Mortgage.
We don't need to go
Brought to you
there.
in part by Northville
We don't
Lumber,
need to go
the
there.
official lumber yard
Riders,
of the Detroit
formals,
Tigers
tuxedos,
Radio Network. Doubles
we are
for
traveling.
Baez
That's
and
true.
Torkelson drove in runs in the first. Baez a deep drive to right center.
Except I'm not going to put tuxedo on
Spencer
just for
Torkelson
fun.
ripped a line drive
fancy
opposite
dresses
field
either.
off Luis Severino into the right field corner, banged it one hop off the wall to score Baez.
Harold Castro takes a strike. 7-8-9 hitters. Castro, Reyes, and Short. Like I said, good swings in that first inning against Luis Severino. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Well, they're going to handle him with kid gloves. There's no question about that. Up to 97 on that fastball. Up and in. Harold Castro, wondering where he fits in. Oh, he'll be on the bench, believe me.